go. I put myself an alarm to let people in, and then I keep answering questions, and I don't let people in. Here we go. Good morning, everyone. Oh, did I say good morning? It's okay. Good day. Good day in one way or another. It's a good day. Okay. So it's there. Say that again. Um, yeah, it's a paid
Oh, how come you take the
fee, but yeah, and I
how
have
come
it
you
written
take
down.
the
There's like 10 to
Zoom
1 or
class?
1 to
Well, I
11 or
don't
10
have
to
to.
11 or remind
But my
me. I
password doesn't
don't
work yet.
100% remember right now.
You want me to lead the meeting?
All right, so can you guys at home see me and hear me?
Yeah.
So I see Blas and Molly, but I thought someone else had signed in. There was someone else there a second ago. I mean, I know I'm there, but why is that computer showing that? Oh, okay. Let me get the right. No, this one is the one that looks at me. So that one looks at me, Georgia, and then this one, yes, they're right there. And then this one, I just turned on the ladybug and that's why it's confused. Let me go back to this one. There we go. Hi, Georgia. This one should be looking at lumens and HD. Why is this one not working? Did someone move this one? Oh, somehow this one is not connected right now, and I'm trying to figure out why the general room camera is not connecting, and I guess something happened. All right, the room camera is not working, you guys, so you won't be able to see the room. Who's asking? Um, Only if you want to get the class handouts, otherwise we don't need it for this class. I'm just battling the fact that this camera, which points to the room, is not working. So I give up because I can't do anything about it. So you guys at home won't see the room. I apologize. Oh, and then I need to do this. Okay. I usually try to have the people at home have the camera that sees the room, but it's not connected, and I don't know why, because it's one of those that automatically should connect. So I'm just giving up, and they won't see you, but you can see them. And then this other one here, I'm pointing to my ladybug, which for now I
We can't hear.
She's busy.
Diana, we can't hear you.
She's connecting something.
Okay.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was turning off the camera and I turned off the sound. All right. Let me get you guys a little bit louder because it looks like I muted you a bit. Can you speak again? Someone from home speak?
Hello.
Okay, we
Here
can
we
hear you
are.
now.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, we can hear you now. All right,
Okay.
good. All right, so it's always like you think you have it all set up. I've done this so many times, and there's always one new thing that doesn't work this time
Yeah.
or the other time. But we're all up and running, and it's only a
Don't
couple
see the
minutes.
screen though. We see your picture.
Okay, so the biggest thing here might be, as usual, make sure there's no space before your B. So go to the B and hit a little return on the. I remember that's the. There it is. That's what was happening last time. So now let's see if that does it. Or you might need to put in that again or not. You might need, no, you need to put the password in again. Hold on, let's delete it because it wasn't. Okay, so now, but the top one is good now. All right, so when you guys enter your username and passwords, many, many, many times, like if I, we said the other day, someone would give me $1 for every time I corrected this, because this could happen at home. People put a space bar in front of, then they put their username, but that space is considered a character for the computer, and so it thinks it's misspelled, and it's perfectly well spelled, but you have space, 1 or 2 spaces in front. That's misspelled for the computer. So keep an eye on that whenever you sign in here, but also when you try to get online from home. Because Barbara, for example, missed the class last week, and I believe you did too, Norma? Yeah? I don't know if you got to see the recordings. Did you know how to get to the recordings? Okay. Yeah. So every now and then you might ask something, and when I go, we did it the other day, watch the recording. It's not that I don't want to answer you, I just want to move forward. Okay? Now, if it's pertinent to what I'm saying, of course I'll answer. But how to get to the recording, and I'm going to just show you this rather quickly, and then I will email you. And I need to sign out, and right now I'm signed in, so it's not going to have me sign in again, so I need to actually log out again, because I'm already signed in, and it doesn't let you do it twice. So, okay. So, everyone, pay attention for a minute to my screen. Oh, wait, I need to share the screen, although most of you who are home know how to get to my handouts, because you are web people. But I'm going to share it in this class, and I'm going to put you guys over just a little, and I'll put you guys here. Okay, so you're going to go to the internet, any browser you use at home, Safari, Chrome, Fox, whatever browser you go to, and you're going to go to sbcc.edu. And if you have never been to my handouts, follow along. Like, I know some of you guys have done it a million times. Just look at me. But if you've never been my student and you've never done this, please turn on your computers, your laptops, whatever you brought, your iPads, your tablets. It's all good. Go to the internet, where you go to the internet and write my.sbcc.edu. And go ahead, Barbara, and follow along. That way you'll practice it, since you're the one who needs it in particular, Norma too. And the rest of you, just because you were in class doesn't mean that you don't want to get the handouts, right? So we go my.sbcc.edu, and we hit return. And I used to have a board I could write in, and now the board is over here, and I don't know who can see it. But my.sbcc.edu. Okay? my.sbcc.edu. It actually, if you just watch. If you do my.sbcc, you get in here. You need to sign in. If you go to just sbcc.edu, which we did for years, you get to the main page, and then you have to click on that little guy that says my.sbcc.edu. And if you know how to find that, then you're back at the same page. So my saves you from that one click, but both get you there. If you go to the first one, you have to do an extra click. Okay? So it's totally valid. Just know about that extra click. So once you get in here, it's again the username, and it's only the username, just what you use here in these computers, not the whole app pipeline and all that, just the username. Exactly, just the username. Username is the first little part, so before you do the @ okay? And remember, no little spaces in front or it won't work. So same thing. And then put in your password, and then you log in. Some of you guys have two-factor authentication, which I do have, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Yeah, the pipeline. No, you're going into Google Chrome. Hold on.
Do you want her to go into
No, I
Safari?
don't want it. I don't want to. No, I don't. Okay. If you use Chrome, which is fine, this Chrome is trying to get you to set up their account. You are doing that. Just go there as a search and put my.sbcc.edu. My.sbcc.edu or just sbcc.edu. So it's when you have a computer, when you have a Mac computer in this school, the way the Mac computer is set up, Chrome, if you open Chrome, Chrome is not the Mac browser. Chrome is a Google browser. So just, okay, okay, that's fine. But I wanted to make it easier for you for the future so you know. Do you normally use Chrome at home?
Yeah, she's on a PC on her.
I have a PC that I use
Okay.
and an iPad.
All right.
Then
Everything's
resources.
just automatic, and that's why when I come here and have to do things,
No, that's fine. But up there you would just have had to write. But you went through the Google instead, which is fine. It's a different way to go through it. I just want to make sure that when you get home, you know how to get here. So now enter just your username. So guys, let me explain. There's only the slightest complication with these Mac computers is that Mac computers use Safari. PCs use Edge, whatever PCs use. And then everyone can use Chrome. Right? And this has to do with our devices, right? So what I'm saying right now is not just because of the sign-in, but it's for our devices as well. It's like Google is possible to be used in all types of computers. Does that make sense? Versus Safari is usually, I mean, you can use Safari on a PC if you try, but people don't download it. Safari is the browser you use on a Mac. When you first buy a Windows PC, it has Edge is the name of the browser they use now. How many of you use Edge? Yeah. Possibly most of you use Chrome, right? It's a third brand. It doesn't belong to either Windows or Mac. It's a third brand, Chrome. So it's like you're going to the house of chocolate and you're saying, I just want strawberries. So the Mac, if you open Safari, it just goes into Safari. But if you open Chrome, it says, oh, you need to sign into all your Google accounts. And that's what was happening to her. It starts having you sign into your Google accounts. It wants you to take over your as a Google user. And you're like, no, I just want to go to the website. I just want to go to the website. So I want to do, right? So if you want to sign into all your Google accounts, go for it. But if not, either use Safari or use Chrome, but ignore Google. When it says Google, ignore it. Because we're not going to Google, we're going to SBCC, okay? Yeah. When you're at home, you can ignore Google too or not. Here's the thing. Google, it's a love-hate relationship. It is the most invasive of your privacy company ever. Anytime you use Google, they know basically what pair of underwear you put on that day. They really do. It's scary. So I try to shy away from Google privacy unless I really need to. That doesn't mean I always do. I mean, I also use Google. It's the best search engine to find a thing. So I use Google when I need to, but I use it through Safari, which has a way of shutting down all of those pernicious ads, not ads, but all the search, all the linking you to stuff that Google does. And Chrome doesn't do that. Chrome is is Safari. It is Google's browser. So it's like
Fine,
it's
I'll call you
made
back.
to
I'm on
hate you.
Safari.
Google is
I'm
made.
on Zoom.
Chrome
Is everything okay?
Are you listening? What's happening? Can you hear me?
Molly. Good.
I just muted. Hold on. 1 second. Let me finish explaining this idea. So you need to understand that Google belongs to no one. The only people who have Google is if you bought a Google Pixel. That's a Google phone. You can't escape it. If you got a Google tablet like that brand, right? So if you have that, then you are on a Google machine. So you can't escape it, right? So that's it. That's what you bought. That's fine. And there are maybe still ways to, in some privacy settings, to change it. If you're a Android person, well, Android is made by Google, right? The whole system is made by Google, not the machines. The machines are made, we saw, by many different manufacturers. But they install an operating system made by Google. So automatically, you're using Google's systems. Does that make sense? So even though you're not necessarily trying to use Google, you didn't buy the Google Pixel, you didn't buy their machine, but you bought into the Android system, you're using Google. So if you can, go to your any of your device's privacy settings and try to set them the most private you can, I would recommend that. But then again, when you're an Android machine, since everything is Google, you're kind of go with the flow, right? It's okay. That's what you did. And you might not have known it. And it's not a big deal. Just know that that's what's happening. If you buy into the Mac Apple system, one of the reasons they try to distinguish themselves, and one of the things they try to do, and again, I'm not trying to sell you the Mac. I'm trying to distinguish goods and bads. But one of the things they try to do is to separate themselves by saying, we're the safest. We don't sell your stuff. We don't make a living off of selling your information, which, by the way, is the way Google makes his living. Google's money is made not by the devices they sell, but because they don't sell computers, they don't sell a huge amount of stuff like Apple does. They make their money by selling your information to advertisers, not your Kristen's information per se, rather everything you do or see or visit on the internet, on everything you buy or whatever, they encapsulate it as there's a female who lives in this zip code, who works on this, who's interested in cooking and quilting and is building a house, and so suddenly, boom, all the people who sell things to people who want to buy a house, you know what I mean, start targeting you. So it's not like necessarily that your personal finances are disclosed. Just everything you do on the internet is disclosed, and so the right advertisers know to target you. But if you're trying to build a house, it's not a bad idea. So I'm not saying it's bad, but just so you know, when people go, I'm worried about privacy, well, just by having the internet and searching something on Google, it knows all about what you're interested in, okay? So, yeah.
So I get on my Android, it comes back, I never gave them my birthday, because it's a Google Pixel, and now they're coming back with, you need to abide by the law, can you please give us your birthday?
Well, it has to do with, there's been a lot of blowback on all these companies about child safety. They need to make sure you're not a child. So tell it you're anything above 18, and it'll, for worse, for better or for worse, it'll target you with things for 20-year-olds. You know, because it will. But at least you've given it what it needs, which is you're not a child, right? If you tell it you were born 10 years ago, forget it. You'll be restricted in a lot of stuff, which is good that that's happening, right? Or you will be targeted by lots of, you know, buy me toys and stuff like that. But ideally, it also will block you from other stuff. So if you want to just tell it that you're 21, go for it. Then be aware that you might wonder how come you're suddenly being targeted with stuff that is for a 21-year-old. So it's okay. Again, you don't need to want one or the other. You don't want to be targeted for being the person who's building a house and who's quilting. If you don't want that, it's fine. Lie to them, right? But if on the other hand, it's fine. If you're going to see ads, because you're going to see ads anyway, right? You're going to see ads anyway. So if you're going to see ads, why not see ads that kind of work for what you're searching? Then that's fine. Again, I'm just disclosing what they do. I don't want to be, I don't really want to be the one who says it's good or it's bad right now. I want you guys to make your own decisions. I have made it by doing my best to avoid Google, but I'm not saying it's the right decision. It's a decision you can make amongst many others. Does that make sense?
Diana,
Yes.
question. What about the cookies? Is that part of it? Because some programs I can't get on unless I say click cookie.
Yeah, the cookies is a whole nother, and it's really outside of the realm of this class.
Oh, okay.
So I want to just really quickly say that, and I wish cookies were Christmas cookies. They are not. They are, when you visit a website, cookies are things that record the fact that you arrived, what your preferences are. You're someone who always goes to women's shoes, or 8-year-old games. I don't know. And so it kind of figures out what your settings are like and it remembers that you went to this place. So the next time you arrive to that place, it's more pre-configured for you, for your look and wants and needs, which again is good or bad or not, depending on your care. Now, things work faster when you have cookies because when you get to that site, it's open, ready to go on what it thinks you want.
Yeah.
Versus if you eliminate your cookies all the time, every time you get there, it'll say, oh, hi, who are you? And it needs to kind of redraw itself in versus it's already ready to go. So you can have a love-hate relationship with cookies, but some websites just do not work.
I know.
They go, you can't use me if you don't turn
Exactly.
on the cookies.
I
Not
had a
many.
problem. I
Not
had a
many.
problem with John Hancock, long-term care, and I a whole day try to get on, and then I realized I have to click cookies in order to get this big corporation to work for me. So
Right.
it's important, I guess,
Come here
to
and sign so you don't forget. Everyone, come here and sign. Hold on. Everyone, 1 second. Can everyone who hasn't signed in yet, please come here and sign in if you haven't signed in. Please do that. I have, and Molly is asking about cookies, and the whole point about cookies is that they're not as bad as it sounds. There's other
Okay.
things that are worse.
Okay. Thank you.
Meaning, as far as privacy, you can still have cookies on your site, and it's really about the settings of how they first show themselves up to you. It's not so much about what you like, what you don't like. That's more internal. You go to Amazon with a cookie, Amazon pops up immediately and knows that you are Hannah or Barbara or Joanne. But other than that, it's not the place that remembers that you like women's shoes size 7. That's actually Amazon.
Okay.
Okay? So when you go to a site and they say reject all preferences or security and all of that, those are the ones that each site is pumping out going, whoo, give me your data. And you can say, yes, no, maybe. Reject all, keep only security ones, or choose all, right? And again, it's a bit outside of the spectrum of this class, so I want to just quickly say cookies per se aren't necessarily bad because they're not the ones that take your privacy. I mean, you've already gone to Amazon. The computer knows you've gone to Amazon. Amazon knows you've gone to Amazon. It's just your computer setting up quickly for Amazon, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
There's usually reject all. Some of them don't give you the choice to reject all, but it's either reject all, keep only necessary ones, which are security ones, or allow all options or something like that. What's that? Those are the 3 choices they give you, and so you don't know unless you go into their policies. Fuji, unless you go to each website and find out what are your security policies, which each company has their own. Weather.com has their own, Amazon has their own, REI has their own, Walmart has their own. Each company decides what security and necessary means. This is not a computer-wide thing. So that's why I'm saying those are the choices they give you, and I'm not being more specific than that, anyone, if Fuji in particular you're asking, but anyone, because they just give you 3 buttons, but they don't say what it means, right? So whenever I can, I reject all choices if they give that choice. Many times they don't. They just leave the basic security one, which again, I don't know what to tell you. Each company decides what they consider basic security, and then they give you optional ones where those tend to be that they can sell your information. Again, not your information. They won't know that Barbara arrived. But the information they'll sell is, ooh, there's a white woman in this age range, in this area of the country, in this possible income bracket based on whatever you're buying, who might be interested in fishing supplies, right? And so that's what they sell. They're not selling Barbara's first and last name, financial exactitude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what goes. And then they go, ooh, I want to target that woman. So then fishing supplies appears ad in her thing. Why? Because she was looking for fishing supplies for her grandson's Christmas party. But you're going to get some fishing supplies for a while until they figure out she wasn't it, right? Yeah. So the security preferences each company has to have. If you go to the About This Company, down there, they have to state their security policies. So if you want to research each company and look and see what they say are their security policies, you're welcome to do that for every site you visit. I just kind of reject all whenever I can. Yeah. Yes. Until I totally remember your names again, I need it to be a bit more. Can you put Barbara this way? And Fuji, I know you from before, so I remember your name. Yeah.
You were talking about browsers and what so now you said they automatically use Google.
S- they use Safari.
But doesn't my Apple also use Safari?
iPad, iPhones.
So iPad,
Yes, unless many times people come up with their phones to me in class and they show me they're opening Google. Some friend, some neighbor, some helpful person who installed the phone for you downloaded Google. It doesn't come with the iPhones or the iPads. You have to choose to go to the App Store and download it. It's free. People who work within that system, though, if you already have all your stuff in Google, yeah, it's fine. You want to keep going in that work. You know what I mean? It's not a bad thing. So Safari is the Apple browser. Google Chrome is the Google browser. It's like saying jeans, Wranglers and Lee's. Two brands of jeans, two browsers. One is Google Chrome, one is Safari. Safari is made by Apple. Google Chrome is made by Google. We call it Chrome. It's made by Google. Apple Safari, Google Chrome. There's more. There's Firefox. There's others. But if you're into using those others, by now you would know more about internet because most people don't know. Unless some helpful friend or grandchild downloaded Firefox for you, it's rare that people would know it unless they understand a bit more. Because it's the first one that was the safest. And it's a really good browser. And then Apple became even safer than Firefox. And then Google's always been like, I don't care about safety, I just need to sell. Because that is their income. So fine. It's like, you know what you're walking into if you know that their income is made from selling data. Apple makes their money from selling devices. So it's just a different Google, a different income source, okay? So it's a different model of how their browser will work as far as privacy. And you can change those settings to really private in the Mac, but in Chrome, there's a limit to, they'll let you play around with some privacy issues, but they'll never get to full privacy. Even when you think you're in, what's that page that's hidden? You can Google the internet on a private page, on a private tab. It has a name on Chrome. Here, let me look on someone who's opened Chrome. Give me 1 second. You can open a new incognito window, right? And then there's this thing in Safari too. You can go private. You can go as an incognito, like it doesn't know who you are. Like detectives incognito, they put on like they look like an everyman. So that's what you can go there, but it's BS. I shouldn't say that. No, really, security people say, yeah, only to a point. And if you're thinking you're doing that at work and they don't want you to know what you're looking at work and you're using incognito, yeah, Google, boss can call Google. They see exactly what you've seen. They don't particularly go check. They don't particularly sell that information. But if you want to go check, they can check and see where you've been. That's what I mean. So it's not like safe. And your boss, if you're using their system, can always go in and see what you're looking at. So even when you're incognito. So just so you know, it's not really actually safe. Okay. So that was a long way around to getting to the class handouts, but it's good. These are questions that come up. It's just that I have so much to teach in this class, and browsers belong in all handheld devices, which is why I'm spending some time on it, but it isn't about the device itself, which is a bit what this class is about. That said, all the things that we've been reading on, learning about, have these choices. If you bought a an Apple, iPhone, or iPad, or smartwatch, or earpods, any of the Apple devices, they come preloaded with Safari for the internet. And some people who have never used an Apple device, they come from an Android, they come from a PC, they go, ooh, I need to go to the internet, let me go download Chrome. And they add it to their Apple devices. Not a problem. Go for it. Now you have two browsers, and now you get to choose which one you use. But they're not better or worse. They're just two different companies. One is native to the device, Safari. One is not native. So the native one links to all your other Apple devices. Chrome is its little standalone, dealing with just Google accounts. Androids, Safari. All of the people who are Mac users, again, I always try to inform you of what's coming, not because I'm trying to snag you into my classes, but I teach dedicated Mac classes. If you own a Mac device, please come take my Mac classes. I do Introduction to the Mac, Mac Level 1, Mac Level 2, and iLife. At the bottom of the presentation, the last 7 slices are all of the classes that I'll be teaching next year of just Apple stuff. There's many others that I teach, but I figure that's what maybe this group might be interested in. If you're interested in more, there's much more. So then we delve into all of device stuff, how to make them work, how to operate all of those devices and your Mac computer. Now, it could be that you own one iPad, but you have a PC computer. That's fine. That class works as well. Or vice versa. You own an Android, but you have a Mac computer. It also works because I'll help you kind of figure things out. But even if you own an iPad, as much as I can talk to you a little bit about iPads today, I have 4 20-hour classes in a row to talk to you about Apple if you take that series of classes. Does that make sense? Today we'll just burst on it, okay? Like land on it, and that's about all we can do. Yeah? So,
So, an iPad is a tablet, correct?
mhm.
And so then, so there's other kinds of tablets.
Android tablets or Amazon tablets. Mhm. Yeah, which are also a version of Android, but it's a very modified Android. Basically, you're like on a big old Amazon shopping spree where you slide through and the things that are set up for you are already, the store, the Prime Video, the Amazon Music, the Amazon whatever. Can you go out of that? Yes. And if you go out of that, you're in an Amazon tablet. And it's the cheapest priced one. And you'll see here in the slides, it's not a bad idea if you want just a cheap Android tablet. But it's not one that's going to give you all the bells and whistles, but it's going to be perfectly functional and cheap. But then Amazon's going to be the one who's trying to sell you everything. It'll go like pushes Google out of the way for a bit and goes, whoo, it's all me, it's Amazon. Right? Each one has to defend their territory, of course. Makes sense. So, so in here, is everyone here? Everyone look at their neighbors. Something I didn't do here is have everyone support each other. Is everyone at the website? At the... Okay, so if you are here, go to Gmail, and that'll take you to your pipeline Gmail. If you're not here, raise your hands. I'll walk around and help you because I want you to know when you get home how to get to the class handouts.
I just changed my password like twice. That's how
Okay,
my password
because
is.
you don't need to go through this, that's why.
Oh,
So we're going to leave all of this.
I did my sbcc.edu and that's where it took
Yeah,
me.
but that's...
Okay.
Okay, try again, my.sbcc.edu. You were in the Wi-Fi. Look, this is already like, okay, hit return or enter.
I keep looking for my mouse.
Oh, because you're not connected to Wi-Fi. That's totally different.
Oh, I'm not. That's right.
Okay, so that's why it's telling you I can't take you there. You're not on Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. I can turn
That
that,
has-
on. All right, I can figure it out.
So
Okay,
connect to
I'll do
Wi-Fi,
it.
and then.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
this is not this is
Got
not
it.
my. It's saying can't take you until you connect. But that's not what you should do. You should not use that one. Okay. All right. Where are we? Did you, Gigi? You know how to get there. You know how to get there. You know how to get there. You're there. You're there. No, again, don't sign into Chrome. Poor Barbara just got here, and Chrome's like, sign into me, sign into me, sign into me. Let's just. I don't even know why. Use Chrome without an account. There we go. Okay, so we're here. We're here. Perfect.
Okay.
You're ready. Let Milton get
I
in.
can't get in.
Yeah, it's possible that you have a space up in
That's
front
what
of the
you
end.
noticed last time, but it
Yeah, let me
went all
see.
the way over.
No, it's not.
MG Bagley. And that's the password. Tap capital
And,
T-A-N-G.
and you're sure you don't have anything else in the middle?
No.
M-E-G or whatever. Okay, so
T-A-N-G.
T
Capital T.
A N
Capital
G.
T.
I did. 1 9 647
And asterisk.
asterisk.
How'd you do that?
I don't know, I just typed it in. Sometimes it's magic. Okay? So are you trying to connect?
Okay, let's go.
Because you're trying to go to SBC guest, which you don't need to go. You need to go to. You need to go to just SBCC.
No, go to, you want to go to the internet, do you know how to do that? Go to Safari, it's easier. Click on Safari.
So this one had connected automatically the other day, hadn't it? Let's see, there's connecting. No. So now it's taking you to that. In which case, I don't know. The Google Chromes come automatically preloaded with the password, so I'm kind of.
Just a quick question. Says there's a system update, so should I run that later before?
No, these computers, they get updated by them, by the system. Okay, great. As long as you're in the Gmail, we're good. Yeah, my.sbcc. Okay, go back to where you were. Yeah. Close that, and open. I think you were in Safari, so go back to Safari.
Can I go to Chrome?
Yeah, but you have to go search
Yeah,
for
we
it.
got it.
Quit this one. Let me do Shift Q. And go up to the search and look for Chrome because it's not installed down here. Go to there we go, Chrome. There it is.
Okay.
Just enough. Just hit return. That's good enough. And it opens. Do not set it as, go ahead. Set it as your default if you want. Use Chrome instead, but don't sign into any of that. Just say don't sign in because right now we just want to get going. And then say got it. And then go here and put in my.sbcc.edu. Okay. And those of you who are using, okay, go down and say got it at the bottom, or not sign in, don't sign in. And then say got it. And then here, do my.sbcc.edu. All right. I want to get your tablet working though. Did you get, I want to get your tablet working. You bring me the cable to make sure everything is charged
Well, it's
because
up to 85.
this one too?
I think so.
Because it's been left on.
I just
You
now
need to turn
turned
it on. This and this is two different things. If this is 85, what's this one you don't see?
How do I know where it's supposed to be?
Yeah, you just see a line.
Should be green.
Yeah, it was on. That's why I'm thinking that maybe you should connect it for now until
I don't have my cords.
you didn't bring the cords today.
This is working.
Yeah, this is working. Here, let's set it up. So that you can move this whole thing over. There you go. Move your chair so you can have both.
Is it going to stay there or should I put this behind there?
This, there. There you go. Okay. All right. So, guys, we went to Gmail. Okay, you went to sbc.edu.
Gmail. Oh, Gmail.
We went to Gmail. And then here on the top right side of your screen, you'll see that it says SBCC. Can you see that?
Yeah.
I'll help you in a second, Milton. Just type my.sbcc.edu up here. Click on there and start my, right here.
Okay.
I started you the my.sbcc.edu. All right. So right next to where it says SBCC, to the left, there's this little button with lots of little dots. You see that?
Yeah.
Click on that. Everyone look at my screen
Yes.
and go to the word drive. So you click on this button and you go to the word drive. So that button that has like the waffle icon, it looks like a little waffle. Think about being hungry. And then drive.
Drive.
Yes,
Okay.
but it's the pipeline Google Drive. And Denise, earlier today I got a message, and I tend to get messages from people saying, let me into your handouts. Yeah, and it's because you're trying to get to it from your personal Google account. You need to come to SBCC to click on Google Drive. It needs to be the pipeline Google Drive that you're accessing. Otherwise, you're a foreigner trying to get into the school, and you're not a student. You're just someone with a Gmail account trying to invade the school. Does that make sense? And the school goes, nope. But if you go into the Gmail, the school Gmail, drive, it's like, oh, you're one of us. You've already put your username and password. You can come in. Does that make sense? Now here on the left side, everyone look at my screen again. I'll help Milton. I'll help Milton, Barbara. Barbara, I'll help Milton. Everyone look here for a second. Over here, there's something that says shared drives. Shared drives. There's another one that says shared with me, and it's confusing. I don't want shared with me. I want shared drives. I have shared my drive with you. Click on shared drives. Okay. And you go to, click on my.svcc. Click again.
Yeah, shared.
Okay. Now you're going to have to go in there. Try again. Yeah, the mouse, it's moving when you click, and so it's a bit hard. There we go. And now you need to put your username and password again. The same thing you did to enter the computer. Okay. If you made it here, you should be seeing a folder called Handheld Devices. If you're not seeing it, raise your hand. But if you're seeing it, double click on it. And there you are. It's a very minimal folder. It just has a few important things. Why don't you use this one meanwhile until you can figure out how to connect this one, just to see what getting into the drive works.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so when you go just to SBCC, you need to click on My SBCC. There we go. And now username and password. Yeah, it does look like you had done it up there. Yeah, you have it done. You did it 3 times. Okay. All right. So this is it. Now, when you're here, you can, if someone is not here, raise their hands. When you get here and you haven't been here forever, go ahead and say yes, save, so you don't have to put it in again. It's only for your account, so you're fine. No, see, close that. I'm trying to sign into Chrome. Don't sign in. And then it's just information for students. Say, got it. Thank you. More, got it. Pass, no pass deadline, got it. I don't need Rome program, got it. You've never been here, so you're getting all the messages. London final, go. Okay. And here's your Gmail. School tries to tell you stuff, so when you first get to there, it's like, you want to go to Rome? Continue. Just because it doesn't know if you are, continue as Milton, continue. Okay. Oh, just Google, for goodness sake. It's very invasive. It's driving me crazy.
Diana,
Yeah.
I have to
Okay.
make
so
up
now
on.
go to that.
I have to make up on YouTube, and I noticed that the page before had it. It's not on this one.
Yeah, give me a second with
Yeah,
that.
sure.
Click
Yeah.
again. There we go. And now here you go to shared drives.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you should be, if you, Molly, click on shared drives, you would see the YouTube version there too, because that was, but
Okay.
I don't have the video up yet because it was a one-day class, so I didn't do it.
Okay.
So let me focus on this class for a second.
Yes, sure.
All right,
No,
is everyone
I'm
here?
fine.
Raise your hands if you're not here. Okay? You are. Now, what you are is in, double click on handheld devices. Okay, so let me just get you in really quickly. Do you want to, what browser, what are you, a Mac or a PC user normally? Oh, this is your mouse. Are you a Mac or a PC user? What do you want, Chrome? Great. Chrome. So, my.sbcc.edu. I'm doing it for you, which I normally want. Because, okay, username and password. Okay, all right. So when you get here, okay, I'll be there in a second. Let me just let people start exploring. One thing, you can either view things like this, a line, a name, or if you click on this little icon, you see little tiny previews of what you're going to see. So this is the same stuff. It's showing, some people prefer to see what they're going to open. Some people prefer to see the name of the file. Your choice. Go back and forth. Once you get here, you have instructions for how to register. That's for people to just have somehow handy when you have to register again, which is this Friday is registration for next semester. Here is the thing that we're looking at. Here's that. It's more. By now it's like 118 pages, okay? I'm going to close it. And then that up at the top, Class Links Intro to Handheld Devices, when you open it, that is day 1 recording, day 2 recording, and after today you will have day 3 recording and summary, AI summary. Okay, so go ahead and open them and explore them while I help everyone who's still not in. And for those of you who are just waiting, I challenge you to find this same thing on your phone or on your tablet, because we're trying to learn how to use handheld devices in this class, right? So grab your phones and your tablets and try to do the exact same thing that we just did. Okay, so go to shared drives, and there's your handheld devices. You have to double click on it. And here we are. So that's the handout, and that's the recordings.
Okay, this is different from this one.
It's the same one.
Okay.
The one that's on the, by the way, the one I printed out the other day, I added, there's like 10 new slides. They're not on the printout. Just, it's okay. I was going to do separate ones, but since we...
So the revise is on this one.
The PDF is everything you're seeing on screen. That way, when you're at home, check out some of the links and see how clickable they are. Yeah. Yeah, you have to go to shared drives. Good. And now double click on handheld devices. Okay. And then you can close this because it's useless and it takes up space. And there we go. All right. So the top one is this, the class recordings, and the bottom one is the actual handout. And it's updated to today. The printout is not. The printout that we gave you is the first day. I've added tablet information and stuff today so the handout doesn't have it. I was thinking I was going to do individual presentations, but we took so long the first day that I'm just using the same one for everything. Okay. Everyone at home, did you guys get it?
Yeah.
At home
Yes.
being people who are on Zoom. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And you are, yeah, I understand. Yeah. I'm good. You can close this to get that out of the way. Yeah. So basically, this is how you click on the recordings. Link to class recording. We don't need it right now. This is teaching you how to, no, you don't need either the handout nor the class recordings right now. You are here with me live. Watch the recording later. This was just how to get to it, so you can watch the portions you want to watch again, or read the portions of the handout that you want again. That's all this is.
I got to, and I hit my Gmail.
By the way, she's like A+. She's doing what I said. Go to your handheld devices, tablets or phones, see if you can do the same thing. Open a browser, which your phones and your tablets have. Go to My SBCC. Go to Google Drive, handheld devices. Yes.
So this is what happens when so I went here, I go to Gmail, and that's what it gets.
Well, then you have to sign into. You don't have it yet, so you need to add a new account. Hold on, not that way. How do you go back to where we were?
So I went to there, and then I went to here.
Okay, go to my. Yeah, you were there at Pipeline.
My SBCC,
Yeah, that would work.
which I log in.
That's the link. Okay.
Okay. Oops.
Yeah,
That's
you.
Canvas, I went the wrong way.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Okay.
go to SBC login right there.
Here?
Yeah, well, it said SBC login in blue.
Okay.
Good. So now the problem with this is that it takes you to your personal one.
Okay.
So if you go here and go to that Gmail,
And
then if you don't manage accounts on this device, you have to add an account, and you need to put in your, no, cancel because it's checking info. Click on Manage account on this device. My finger went wrong. And add account. There.
Okay.
Maybe, I think I'm clicking, okay, manage accounts.
You want to hold it?
Yeah, you have to add an account. I think I keep clicking on that one. Add account to device. No, I guess it
No.
still is verifying it's you. Face not recognized, so we'll do that again. Now it's recognized. I go in. It's okay.
Confirm,
No.
use PIN. It's easier
Yeah.
that way.
And then set in your pipeline account. Which, by the way, again, this is not necessary for during class. I just want you guys to understand that whatever we just did on the computer is exactly what we're going to do on whatever handheld device we have if we say our computer dies. They have the same, guys, these are just smaller computers. Handheld devices, tablets, and phones, 1 second, are just smaller computers. So if you find a browser on your phone, do the same 4 steps, you'll get to the same handout. On your tablet, do the same 4 steps, you'll get to the same handout. And I know some people are having issues with that. Give me a second, I'm going hand by hand. So as you see me raise my hands and move on to the next one so that your hand doesn't cramp, then you raise it again.
Okay, so I went here.
Yeah.
Went to drive.
This is, yeah, so let me explain. Can I put this under the, here's one problem. Guys, look at me. I'm going to show you on this phone, and you'll have to come probably to press something, but let me change the share. So you guys, okay. Okay, so I'm sharing, oh, it's on this computer for you guys. You can't see it. Here. So can you see my, can you come over, please, Mary Ellen? Because since I let it go dry, it won't recognize me. Can you open it again? When you are on a phone or on a tablet or even on the computer, here's the main problem. That when you first arrive, you're confronted with this. This is the my.sbccu, but on the phone. And it's so tempting to go over there. There's email, right? We all recognize email. But if you go to that one, it goes to your private personal email. Need to keep it alive. It doesn't go to the pipeline email. So what you need to do is click on that little guy right there. And let me just do it again. That next to there's like 3 little lines right there. Click on that. And then you see the Gmail right there. You scroll down to, this is the same thing we did at school. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And when you click on it that way, technically that should be you taking you to the school Gmail. So Safari or Chrome, whichever app you use on your phone normally to get to the browser. Okay? So if you have not used it, remember, this was for the people who are, and see, Google's like, wait, I'm better. Use me. And I'm like, I'm not interested right now because I don't want to go there. I'm not interested like that right now. So then you can go from here. This is the school. Can it let you get in here? Hold on. Can you get into the drive? It took you to your pipeline email, but it's not from here. Then you need to get into the drive.
Diane, the way you direct us to do it at home, I'm sure we could all figure it out at home. Maybe we should just let us.
I go to the drive. It's taking you to the personal drive. This is the personal drive. That's the problem. Then the plan B is you don't go to Gmail. Okay, so if you did go to Gmail, and that's where you are, and from there on the phone you can't get to the drive, then I'm going to take you to plan B, which is the other way on the computer also how to get to the Google Drive. So let's close that from that X. Come back here. And this is the plan D for those of you who are following on the computer. Other than going to Gmail, you can also scroll to Student Resources menu. That's the second way in. Click on Student Resources menu, and then you go to Essential Resources. Now, Essential Resources is really good because you have other stuff here, which is why I want to show it to you. Because not only do you have Google Drive, but you also have LinkedIn Learning, which is amazing, incredible, really good quality tutorials. Now, I don't link to those tutorials once or twice only on this handout, because if you try to click on it, it'll take you into LinkedIn, right? And you have to sign in and you have to pay. But if you go through school and you clicked on LinkedIn Learning like that, then it knows you're a student and you don't have to pay. But anyway, you have tutorials of everything under the sun. Anyway, so here we are. Here's Google Drive. You click on Google Drive, and then you are in Google Drive. I have both of those ways to get in on that video that I have that I tell you that is linked. I'll show you right now where. It's in the handouts though. So what's the point of having a video in the handouts? Get the Drive app. So yeah, you could also get the Google Drive app, but right now I'm going to say no thanks. And you go here to the left and you go to shared drives. Shared drives. Here are handheld devices. She's also in my Photoshop class. I trust she has both. But for the people who only have handheld devices, here we are. We made it to handheld devices, okay? So basically, you go to Google Drive, Student Resources, Essential Resources, Google Drive, and you land in My Drive, and you have to go, okay, I want shared drives. Okay? All right. Yeah, let me explain. I do not want to spend another hour doing this. I wanted you guys to get to it on your computer. I said, those of you who are advanced and are waiting, go do it from your devices. The rest of you, just do it in one place. Okay? So if you're having, if using your devices to get into Google Drive is complicated, I mean, don't do it. You want to see this whole thing big. You want to see it on your computers. You all have computers at home. But I was just saying, some people were sitting twiddling their thumbs. I'm like, challenge yourself, okay? But I'm done right now with this. If you've done it on the computer, which everyone has, that's all I need you to do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I went so far.
Down to Essential
saw
Resources. And then here you'll find the Google Drive.
And will I find the website?
Yeah, I just kind of mentioned that we're not going to, when it comes up, it'll be in your personal drive.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, and then, but that's it. When it comes up, it's slow. When it comes up, it'll be in your, you don't have your Wi-Fi turned on. Turn on your Wi-Fi for your devices, guys. Otherwise, it takes forever. Okay. I did show you last week, but in case it didn't work or not. No, meaning what I'm saying is, if you had that device here last week, I'm not trying to say I showed you. I'm not going to show you. But if you had that device here last week connected, it should have connected when you walked in. That's all I'm saying. That said, some of you might have not connected, so I'll show you. Okay? But if I have an iPhone here, but if you have an Android, hold on, let me get my, let me get my, so you should, most of you guys probably have the Wi-Fi on automatically, always on. If you're running out of battery, that would be something you don't want on all the time, because do you really need it to be checking all the time for Wi-Fi? Do you need it just when you're at home? Fine. Or when you go to a specific place and you want to connect to Wi-Fi, then you go. But you don't need to be connected to your phone. Okay. Everyone lift their hands. I do not want you to try to get to SBCC on your phones anymore. It's really, at this point, becoming a waste of time.
Yeah.
Do not do that anymore. Please. I do want you to be connected on your handheld devices, though. So I don't want you to try to get to the handouts. But some of you were trying. That means you're already connected to Wi-Fi. That's good. Who is not connected to Wi-Fi on their handheld devices that you brought to school? Okay. And you have an iPhone. And you have a iPhone. And you have an iPhone. I need to know, because it's different iPhone or Android. So everyone who needs to connect is an iPhone. I need to know which one to demo. Okay, so you want to go to sbcc.edu. So let me just show you. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen. The big challenge of this class is everyone has a different device. So you're all trying to call out to me. But there's one way for all iOSs, iPads or iPhones, so I'm going to show that first. And then there's one general way for Androids, devices or phones, tablets or phones, it doesn't matter, but those might differ. So when I get to the Android, then I might need to come by one, okay? But right now, what we need to do is the one thing that's universal, which is iOS, okay? So I'm going to share my iOS. I choose to share my phone, but I could have been sharing my tablet for what it's worth. Hold on, my phone has to come up. Here we go. Let me move that out of the way. So here's an iPhone or a tablet, an iPad, okay? If you're still not connected, you need to go to your settings, but there's a quicker way for those of you who know how to use the control panel on the iPhone. I just want to say that if you put your finger on the top and pull down just a little bit, sorry, not on the top and pull down, on the corner, like on the diagonal, pull down from the diagonal a little bit, just like diagonal down like that, ting, just a little pull down from the diagonal. Then you get to this thing called the control panel. Again, I do teach the control panel in my Mac classes. If you've never used the control panel, this is just like a little tidbit of extra, where right there you can see if you're connected. See how I have a connection? That means I'm already on Wi-Fi. But if this was dead, like gray, not dead, then you need to touch it to lighten it up. But let me show you, because even if you touch it, it might not find the Wi-Fi if it's not connected. So the long way around, for the first time ever you connect, then it's automatic. You go to your settings. So the settings app right here for me, but if you don't know where the settings app is, you need to go to the search and click on the search and click on, say, S-E-T. And the moment you say just S-E-T, the settings pops in. Those of you who are trying to do it, I think it was just Mary Ellen, Milton, and Chris, right? Someone else? Everyone else connected last week. Okay, Norma then too. So the rest of you who have iPads or iDevices are connected, right? Okay, you said you're last? You're connected now. All right. So did you get to your settings? Are you in your settings, Milton?
Yes.
Okay. Chris?
It says I'm connected, but it doesn't seem to want to do anything.
Okay. So over here, wait, before I deal with troubleshooting, let me show you the basics. So down here on the basic settings, it says Wi-Fi. You see that? Now mine already says SBCC. That means I'm connected. But if yours doesn't, it'll say off or on or say something else. Then you need to choose SBCC. There's others. There's SCCP, Roam, EDU, SBC Guest. Don't go to those. First, try just SBCC. And when you click on that one, it's going to ask you for your username and password. Right. So let's try, you're in. Yeah, you're connected, and look, you're connected. It's not strong. It's just 2 lines. It's the little rainbow. That's Wi-Fi. The little thing. No. So there's 2 things, 2 shapes of icons. There's this one. That's Wi-Fi. And then there's the little bars. That's your phone connection, your data, let's call it. Okay? Wi-Fi and data. So if you have only 2 low bars or 1 low bar, that's because we have very bad Wi-Fi connection here in this room. And I was joking last week, I was told by the people who work in the neighboring office that sometimes they have to go all the way to the middle of the grass to connect to Wi-Fi and then come in, because it's just a bad connection. And so I have 2 little lines going on right now, or at least Milton just had 2 lines. Looks like I have 4 right now, but when I first checked, I had 2. Oh, down here I have 2. See? It's a very... Username and password, pipeline username and password, pipeline username and password. Your own pipeline username and password, always. Remember, username with no @pipeline or anything, just no spaces, just your username and your password. Okay, it worked, Mary Ellen. It worked for you, Norma. Is it working for you, Chris? You said it wasn't working.
Yeah.
Let me go. Okay.
I just noticed where to join that one. It said Wi-Fi was on, but you don't want Wi-Fi, you want SBCC.
Now put your password in. So, guys, Anyone who needs any iOS device to be connected, please tell me right now. And I'm going to use, can I use this to demo? Okay. What tablet is this?
It's an Android.
But what?
It's a Samsung.
Okay.
It's a light A7 light.
Okay. So here I have a Samsung. I'm going to go back to the base. I need to, there's a window here that's in my way. I need to tilt it a little bit. It looks weird. It looks tilted because if it's not tilted, it's picking up that light. So it's a little bit tilted, but we got it, right? Okay. So I'm going to change my share to show the Android now.
So when it says that, then you just go back to the home screen, right? It says SBCC chat.
Is it not working now? It's okay. Trust it.
One thing at a time.
That's all we can do. Just trust it, yeah. Okay. And here I have an Android geared up and ready to go for whenever you guys...
So this is, so
Did
I
you get
just
in?
went back? Yeah, I think, yeah, I got in. And
Cool.
then what do I do after that? Just
You're in. Just push it up. Pull it up.
go
Boom.
shopping.
Yeah, go shopping. No, I didn't say that. All right. So, guys, before this one dies on me, not dies on me, but, because it's not my code, raise your hand if you have an Android device that's not connected. Oh. That's an iPad. So if you don't need that, then we'll continue. Wi-Fi not connected. Choose SBCC. Go ahead and click on the word SBCC. Yeah, and then your username and password again. Now, the good news is you shouldn't have to connect again. Of course, this is our last class, but I hope you'll be coming back. And this will be remembered. Like, from now on, when you walk into any room in SBCC that has connection to Wi-Fi, main campus as well, it's the same Wi-Fi. If you go to the main campus, you go to any of our art classes, shot center, you are connected through SBCC, so your phone should, as long as that room has it, which not every room in this college has it, but if you walk in there, it should be able to connect you to this because you've put in the password already. It remembers you. If you ever, for any reason, it doesn't, go back in. Now you know the steps. It's always, they say that it's better. It doesn't get as cold if I close the door, so I'm going to close the door. The air conditioning started, which is like... I'm going to... By the way, thank you. I forgot to mention to this group, but you're all kind of well trained, but not completely, because I do still see some bottles. If you have bottles in here, please put them on the floor. But even if you put them on the floor before you were allowed to have them, truly, if someone would ever come in here right now, they would just like, you're supposed to leave them outside. And stand up and come and drink. And we can put them on these tables. If you don't want to put them outside and drink there, the rule is you should drink outside. But a couple of you have done it. You can just sit in here and drink and watch, and get to stretch your legs. Because if anything spills on this new carpet, they will kill me. Not you, they will kill me. So put them all in the back and very carefully open and close and don't spill. Yeah. So you know that at home, I have always, see how over here there's a lower table? It's a bit much lower, but at home I always have something slightly lower than my desk. And that's where I put my drinks, because if they spill, worst case scenario, you don't have to buy a whole new computer. Best case scenario, it's just on your keyboard that's detached, well then you're still out, $100 or whatever dollars. But if it falls on your laptop, you buy a whole new computer, any liquid. So it's not worth it. Just put yourself one level lower. The spills will happen. Even if you think you have a non-spillable, you have a bottle with a top and you didn't screw it in just the right way, right? So don't trust it. And a lot of us want a warm mug or something. So please put it on a second level. Okay, so you took back your device? Good.
I'll ask you after class if that's okay.
How I did what?
How you actually got it to turn on the Wi-Fi.
I didn't. You said that it was. Oh, didn't you? I'll do it. Oh, because I said who doesn't have it, and I get the one I was demoing didn't have it. Oh, well then I'm happy to demo it. Go to the settings.
I put my username and password.
Yeah, and now say join. And as long as there's no typos, there it is. Looks like there's a.
I have trouble with this darn password thing.
It's okay. It says not trusted. Just say trust. It's okay. It says not trusted. Just say trust, and it's good. Uh-huh. It's in. All right. What's that? iPads is exactly the same. I said iPads and iPhones. It's identical. Identical. So now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. And now after I share my screen, I'm going to start the PowerPoint. And what I need to continue with isn't yet tablets. We went through gestures and stuff and navigation. Here I have stuff for the phones, which is the same for tablets, so I'm going to come back to it, like how do you copy, paste for Androids for phones. So it says for iPhone, like cut, copy, paste for iPhones. Cut, copy, paste for It's the same. If it says Android, just because I wrote iPhone, it could say iPhone/iPad. There is never any difference. Can you get it? When you're in an iPhone or an iPad or an Mac, it's all the OS is identical. So if it ever says something for iPhones, like this one, right there, like copy, cut, paste it for iPhones, copy, cut, paste it for iPhones, /iPads, right? And I'm in the section for iPhones, so it says iPhones. Later I have some stuff for iPads. It could as well say iPhones. And when it says for Androids, in this case I didn't say for Android phones because iPhone is the name, but if I say iOS, some people were not unclear, so it just says iPhone instead of iOS, but Android is the same. If there's a way to do this on an Android on the phone, it's the same way to do it on an Android for a tablet. Does that make sense? So I'm not going to have us go to copy paste when we're barely using it yet. So, but later when you go back to that, these instructions apply for the operating system no matter the shape of your device. Got it? Just the shape of the device doesn't matter. The operating system is what matters. And things function the same. They're a little bit different because you have things that are tinier and bigger. In that sense, they're different. But other than that, they're the same. Now, how many of you guys have issues with cables? I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing you every single cable in the whole wide world. But these are the ones that matter to devices. And there's a lot of confusion, rightly so. The biggest culprit is Apple. Finally, something you can totally blame on us. Because as unique as iPhones are, they've had their own connection that the whole rest of the world didn't have, and it was a lightning cord, and they've had it for eons and eons and eons, and it's this last one that's a lightning. And in fact, this thing is called cables, adapters, and chargers USB, but this is the only one that's not USB. This is just an Apple connection called Lightning. And those of you who have older devices still have that. As of iPhone 15, it got switched. Finally, we're using the same one that Androids use. And that was not because Apple was nice about it, but Europe sued them.
We can't hear you.
Okay, it's on again.
Hey, thank you.
Is that what this is?
Okay, there we go.
Charging device?
This is a Lightning. Yes.
Okay, so they don't use those. Okay, got it.
So Lightning is only for iPhones. And so here, this guy is only for iPhones. And if I go down, here's a bigger picture of it. It's like that. It has those little tiny yellow. It's the only thing that distinguishes it easily. It's got those little tiny yellow things to it. If anyone wants to come see one in person, I have one. That is unique to iPhones pre-iPhone 15 and iPads Okay, iPads, there's so many models that I'll have to go see right now which ones are using them. But basically, if this doesn't fit, the other one fits, right? But the thing is that on the other side of it, so the connectors are male and female. The hole is male. Is the female, and the hole is the male, and the protruding one is the male. I'm saying it wrong, obviously. But so the other side of the lightning cord that goes to the iPhones is a very generic, universal one that we've had for eons. And this is the oldest type of USB, the square one, type A, right there. Okay, so of all devices, type A is the oldest one, the standard one. Of course, because it's the oldest one, it's also the slowest connection. So, for charging, for anything. But many devices still use it, especially if they're older. But what happens when you have a device that doesn't allow you? What if you are an owner of a Mac computer that's relatively newish, 5 or 6 year old newish? Apple has always been on the forefront, for us, of letting go of cable options because it doesn't want too many holes on the side of your computer. So a long time ago, when everyone was using the Type A, Apple said, Type A is going the way of the dodo. We're not going to use it anymore. So it's been a long time since you've bought a computer, since you can't plug this in. So this is a Lightning for Apple products. But the other side doesn't plug into an Apple computer because the computers don't have a Type A port anymore. So then you have to buy converters, adapters. Okay, and I have bazillions of types of adapters because they can look any which way. They can look like multiple. So then I plug in, like a extension cord on your home. So you plug 2 or 3 devices that have the old kind, and then this one goes into your computer. This is the Type C. This is what all Androids use. Yay for Android. One thing they got right, and they made Apple change to. No, because all manufacturers decided that they weren't going to mess with things, and they're all different manufacturers, but they all use the same port. That's amazing, right? Because, come on, they could have decided to use different ports like Apple did, and then we'd be in trouble. So all Androids use this kind of roundish USB-C. It's the middle one, that one. Sorry, went one too much there. Kind of rounded edge. All Androids use that. But still, many, many Androids, and this is the part that gets confusing. Used to have to travel with that. I don't have to travel with all that anymore because I have an iPhone 15. But many, many Androids still were using that kind of ending on one side and still a USB-C on the other side. So here's another adapter kind. So if you want to see adapters, I have every type of adapter you can imagine. So this one that I showed you was a triple. This is a direct one, right? Just a one-to-one. Or I showed you the teeny little baby ones that right now, amongst all these big ones, I lost it. Just a single tip. So like this camera this is a webcam trying to connect to my laptop. My laptop is a Mac. It will say no, no, no to the Type A because webcams, they all come with Type A still. It's like, come on, guys, change. Devices don't change as quickly as other stuff. Like phones change, but like printers or webcams or this ladybug, all this other kind of stuff that you would ever connect to a computer, headsets. And so these, just a little tiny plug or a long cable or a big one or a multi one that then needs to be plugged in. Because these are just a simple connection, but they don't have power. So they depend on how good the cable is. But then you could also buy one that's like a hub. So when you listen to a hub, when you hear the word hub, now I can put in
Are you screen sharing?
Yeah, I'm putting, let me stop the share. I'm showing cables, but this is a hub. Which camera are you using right now? This one. So it's just many. Oh, can somebody, oh, somebody left. Okay. I would say let someone in, but no, somebody just left. Let me turn the blur off, because you guys can't see when it's blurred. Okay. So this is a hub, and when you have many ports, the power, it also needs to be connected to the wall. So then there's a power source, and then these are much more powerful and allow for faster transmission of chargers and data than just a thing that just converts. Does that make sense? So a hub is when you have many different things that plug into one thing. Here's another type of hub. There's so many types of hubs. I actually have a big, fat one with 12 ports with all kinds of connections connected to the wall next to my computer. Yeah. So a lot of the times, a lot of devices have type A endings. Even the Androids, they will have a cable that has a type A ending. So whenever you try to plug into the wall, you might think, well, all connectors are the same. So this little one that plugs into the wall, that you plug in your chargers to, it turns out that there's the type A or the type C. Because you might just go and buy the wrong thing. But then you go, okay, oh, my Android has a type C, so I'm going to buy that. But then your cable happens to be the kind that ends on one side with type C and the other side with type A, and this doesn't work. So either you buy little cables or you have to go buy another base. Does that make sense? So be careful. 99, anything new is using type C. That's good news. Slowly we can begin to get rid of that stuff. When it comes to phones and tablets, any newer tablet or iPhone, Android or iOS, uses type C, the little rounded one. That one.
So is this a type C then?
No, that's a lightning.
No,
Like an
Oh,
oval.
you gave me a different one. That's a type C,
Okay.
and that's a mini USB. So what she has is interesting. Let me just show. And I have one of those. I have a power bank here too, but this one has a couple different choices. Can you see? And you guys at home,
We
just
lost you.
she has something that has 2 or 3 different
And
ends, and I have one that I don't know if I brought that has 3 different ends that you can plug one into the other. It just came. This is a power bank. So a power bank is in case your phone can't make it to the end of the day, you carry a power bank that you plug it in and it makes it to the end of the day kind of thing, right? So a power bank is indispensable if you're traveling and you don't know when you're going to get back to your hotel or something like that. But other than that, it's not necessary. I have another one here. This is my power bank. And then over here, I have just one cable onto it. But then I have 2 types of connectors that can go
Is that for iPhone or for?
It doesn't matter. It's for all devices.
She has a C. We have a C iPhone power bank.
What phones do you have? Number.
No, mine's a 14.
Okay. It's a power bank. So this is your insurance. So your insurance means that you leave this plugged in your house, and it charges, and you do nothing. You leave it charged. And then one day you know you're going to be gone. You know you have a phone that doesn't make it to the end of the day because you have an older phone. You have a tablet that doesn't make it. Tablets don't have as good power as phones do. Newer phones last a lot longer. It depends on how. You can have the newest phone and you sit there watching videos all day and it'll be gone by, in 8 hours, and the day has many more hours that you're awake. And what if you happen to be ill that day on your bed watching something all day long? It's not going to make it. Well, you just plug into the wall. But what if you're sitting next to someone who's sick in their home and you're watching something and you can't. So you plug in, you bring your power bank. Now I carried this with me traveling because you never know when you'll find another place to connect. So whenever I was running out, I wasn't in despair. I could always pull this out and plug it in. And I can even just, I had this in the pocket, plugged in while I was still using the phone.
Diana,
Okay,
we
I
at
was
home
using,
can see it.
but
If you can,
it's a little box,
could
but
you
it
go
comes in
to the
many
other
shapes.
screen?
Victoria has a bigger one. It's just, it comes in many colors. It's called a power bank. So guys, write that down, a power bank. Of all things, I don't have a slide of power banks. I was going to. You buy it at any store. You buy it on Amazon. You buy it anywhere. You can buy them at Costco. You can buy it where.
Does the brand
That's a good
matter?
thing. They're coming smaller and smaller. My older one was big like hers. My new one, her smartphone is alarming her about something.
We could see it on the other screen. Could you
You're
get to
not
the
seeing
other
it if
screen?
I do this?
Yes.
It's too small, but if you can
Okay,
go
I
to
can
the
just
other
stop the
one.
share. I can stop the main share. It's just that I was trying.
Molly, you need to change your view so that that's big.
That's fine. It's just that it's just a little box with a cable, so it's not really that
Okay.
interesting. I had to stop the main share. Do you see it now? It's just
Yes, I see it.
It's just a thing. What matters
Okay.
is the name of it, because it's just a brick.
Okay,
And it
thank
looks
you.
just like any other brick. What's the difference between this and a phone is that this holds power. It's like a battery that you carry with you.
Okay.
So you would charge it at home, you would plug it in, and let it get full. And this one is a cutie pie. It has little paws, right? So when it's being used, it shows you one little paw less of light, and you know when you need to recharge it. And this one would charge my phone about 1.5, almost 2 times. So someone asked how strong they have to be. Was it Evelyn, Barbara? I didn't want a big one because I needed to carry it with me. Do you need a hand? It's your phone, right? It's your smartwatch? What's it?
Yeah.
What's the? Are you calling?
Yeah.
Are you calling
Thank you,
SOS?
Georgia.
Oh, hold
Yeah.
on.
Okay. It makes a big difference.
Oh, yeah. I could see the whole thing now. Thank you,
Do you have
Georgia.
phone connected to this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for some reason, it seems to be calling. Did your phone fall or? Yeah, because, well, now it's stopped. If it comes again, come to me. Come to me if it comes again. Come up with both phone and watch when you come to me. Okay. Sorry, it's just that Fujiya had her smartwatch is giving her an SOS alarm, which would happen if she fell down and the phone just
Oh.
telling her SOS. That's true. But it went away. I don't know what she did. It's not there right now, so I can't say it. Go outside and call. Do you have anyone who's connected to your phone? Go call them. Go outside with your phone and call them. Otherwise, wait until it comes back. But in case it was, what's that? I'm not sure yet. No, I had 30 days. So today was the last day for this class to tell you if I made the decision, but my decision is not sure yet. Okay, so this is insurance, and I didn't want to carry a big one because I had to carry it in my purse, in my pocket, in my pack. So this lasted about a 1.5 phone charge. But listen, a whole phone charge for my phone means a whole day. But if I'm actively using it all the time, maps, trying to figure out where to go, wherever, I might need it for another half a charge before I got back to the hotel or the campground or whatever. So I never used it more than down to 2. What did happen, sometimes I wouldn't get to charge that night because I was sitting, we do a lot of camping, and sometimes you can't. We're biking from place to place and no place to charge. So then I'd survive a whole other day and a half with this before I had to find a plug somewhere to charge it, right? So this gave me 2.5, the initial charge the phone had, and then another day and a half. So it depends on how much. You don't want to buy the biggest ones and then not want to lug them around in your purse because those things are heavy. How much was it? That one cost me about $60. So it's not cheap, but there are cheaper ones. Again, they might give you less power, but there's also much more expensive ones. And the most important thing is the power, the cables that you charge. I already told you, don't buy cheap cables. Cheap cables look good, but they don't. I know I'm almost done with the cables conversation, but there are questions, or I wouldn't be continuing. But the main thing is that the little charger thing that you connect from the cable to the wall to power, if you connect to your computer to charge, that's one thing, you connect straight from the cable. But if you go to the charger that goes to the wall, those you can buy in very different power. She's got it again. I hear it. In different efficiencies. So, like, if you plug this cable into this or into this, into the wall, this will charge your phone much faster than this, okay? Because it has more watts. So, like, this is maybe charges at 15 watts per minute when you buy them, and then this one at 37 watts per minute. So it charges double the speed. Your phone charges at double the speed. That said, if you're in a hurry to charge it, that's good. But if you're not in a hurry to charge a phone, because, you're plugging it in, you wake up in the morning, a slower charge is better for your devices, right? We talked about that last week with the wireless charging. So buy yourself a good cord and a good charger if you're the kind of person who the phone doesn't make it to the end of the day. So middle of the day, you need to charge it. You want to charge it faster. Get yourself a more powerful base so that you don't have to be without your phone for more than half an hour. One thing I am liking, to Kristen's question about this watch, remember I told you it would stop me the first time many years ago when I bought a smartwatch, was that it wouldn't last the whole day. And I wanted it for movement during the day and for sleep. And so I had to charge it during the day, and it would take forever to charge. Well, this one, which is a Series 11, which is what came out this year, but it's not the best. The best is the Ultra. This is in the middle, and then there's an SE, I believe, which is a bit lower. The reason I went for this one instead of the cheaper one, in fact, is because this one, in 15 minutes, so basically I go into the bathroom, do a few things, grab a tea, and come out, and it's back to, I think it gives me like half a charge. And half a charge will last me the rest of the day if I need it. Everyone's good? Did she receive a message? No. Okay, don't touch it. Let me see it. What's your phone? Keep saying emergency, because what's happening is that you're calling the emergency services.
Yeah.
It's you were calling, and every time you stop it, no, say no. Go to your health app. Oh, where's your health app? Hold on. Go to your health app. Here, which is the one that's calling. See if you can cancel it. Set up your medical ID. Okay, here, let me look up, hold on, let me look it up here. How to stop an SOS. Guys, as I said, I don't know everything. And this SOS has never happened to me. So how to stop an SOS call from your smart watch, because it's your watch that's calling. If you just release the side button, we've done that 25 times. Could it be that it's stuck?
That could be.
But a low, that doesn't call emergency. Okay. Quickly pressing the watch's home button will send alerts and calls to your sign. Are you guys seeing it? So how to cancel? No, we don't want to I don't want to stop it doing it. Hold the side button. Might be calling. You call. Call and say, I don't know how to stop it, in case it's them.
Did they call back?
it. You're fine. Why does my phone Apple Watch keep ringing SOS? If you have been in mobile for a minute, it's like something's not working, is what I'm saying, because it doesn't. If you're walking around and getting help, it stops. See, manage fall detection. Yeah. Well, that's good. You saw how it works.
The lightning sounds like it's a faster cord just driving out.
It was, and that's why they resisted changing. But in the end, now USB got better. So anyway, I don't need to go you through all the different versions and stuff, but a lot of the other connections that tablets or Kindles or devices or anything else have is this one, which is the other one that you have there, the micro USB. And that one has also been around eternally. So ideally, once the old lightning cords fall out of the wayside, we'll be left with only the USB-C. And the micro USB is still, lots of new stuff is still being made to charge with the micro USB. Flashlight, all those things that now charge separately are doing micro USB, so they're the two kind that you want. But what you need is adapters. They cost nothing, but you need to tell them. You need to type into Amazon or say, I need this one to that one, right? But you can take these pictures, look at them, and go, okay, I want that to that, and they'll go, oh, you mean a micro USB or USB to ABC, and I wish they could just call them 1 through 5, and you'll go, I need a 5 to a 2, a 2 to a 1, or something like that, but they all have a different name. If anyone wants to know about kinds of adapters or stuff, come and I will show them to you. I'm going to move them over to the side. Oh, can you let her in? Now she looks like she's in an emergency. One is enough, Fuji. We know you're in. Which is a pity if it's malfunctioning to call 911, but yeah. What did they say? Okay. Hello?
Hi, this is 911.
Hi. Turns out that it looks like her smartphone might be malfunctioning because it keeps calling even though we keep stopping it, and she seems fine. She's right here in my class. I'm the teacher.
That she keeps pressing the button to shut off the phone. So it's going to give you two options, the option to shut it off and then the other one for SOS.
It's not her phone, it's her smartwatch that's ringing, not the phone.
Okay, are you able to shut down her Apple Watch?
Just by holding it tight? Did you just do it? It looks like you stopped it.
Yes, I did.
She did it.
Is it an Apple Watch?
Yes, it's an Apple Watch.
Okay, so the Apple Watch also has the same feature that an iPhone does.
Okay.
The top one is going to give you the option to shut it off, and then the second one in red is the SOS, and that's the one that calls 911.
Okay. Looks like now
If
she
you
stopped
hold
it.
it down for the Apple Watch and then just slide it right away so it shuts it off, you should be fine. Otherwise, it's going to keep dialing into 911.
Okay, looks like she restarted it, and hopefully it stops now.
Oh, okay.
Because we had the whole logo all this time. Yeah.
So what was the instruction?
Make sure that everything's
All right, and I apologize for all the calls. We couldn't figure out what was happening. Thank you.
That's okay. Thank you.
Well, that was an extra demo. Let's hope that.
Yeah,
It's
so
a pity on the one hand to waste 911's time, but on the other hand, hey, it's good if it's there.
so how did she stop it? What was
What's
the
that?
instruction?
She had to restart her smartwatch. So hopefully that's it.
Oh, okay.
If you're the kind of person, like my son's phone is old and feeble, but it works fine. Other than that, it's old and the battery is feeble. And so he just has a battery pack in his pocket all the time. And he just charges it 2 times a day, basically, to make it to the end of the day. And then he charges it at night. No, they can come with whatever kind of battery. You saw hers has 3 choices. Mine I got with that one kind because I knew that's what I needed. But you can buy them with whatever connection you want. I mean, ultimately, you're going to charge the battery pack overnight because it does take hours. You're charging it times 1, 2, or 3 phones worth, so it takes a while to charge. But then you have it with you to charge your phone, so it does take a while to charge. When it's depleted, it might take 12 hours, 48 hours, not 48 hours, 10 hours. It's, yes, you have to put it into, ideally what you might spend is into the adapter. Get a slightly better adapter and then it'll charge faster. Mine always recharged overnight when I woke up in the morning. My phone and my battery pack were always full, ready to go the next day. Anyway, so over here, if you want, you can do little printouts of these kind of things that are a bit bigger so that whenever you need to one of these, you can, you know, print them out and say, this is what I have and this is what it seems like I need, you know, that kind of thing. And then here I have some more information of what works to work. This is kind of technical, just so you know it's there. A whole guide, lots of stuff. You guys come and ask yourself all these questions and come and click on all these links, okay? That's all we're gonna do with those kind of cables right now. But importantly, spend on them. And by the way, when you spend on them, you don't have to change them all the time. Versus, have you ever? I mean, I have a litany of lightning cords that instead of buying the Apple ones that were $21 each, we would buy all these cheap ones, and then you go through 25 of them, right? Versus the actual Apple cords didn't fray. But that's from before. Now I'm the only one who has this connector in my house, and all my cables are in good shape because I am me, not my kids. So anyway, wireless we did the other day. So I'm going to pass on, and then I'm going to just do the connections, and they'll give you guys a break because I want to get into the iPads and the tablets, but I want to go through the connections right now. But it is, you know, I've already gone over your break.
Yeah, let's have a break.
Yeah, because I've already gone over your break. Okay, so I've gone by 15 minutes over the break. So let's not finish Bluetooth. We'll do it when we come back. Bluetooth and hotspots, that was a request. I have that here, but if we don't get to all of it, we can also come back. All right, remember the rule. Everyone is going to exit because everyone's got lots of gear here, purses and stuff. We're going to leave the room. I'm going to lock the room. And no one can come in until the break is over, which will be in 15 minutes. And it is now 2:45, so I'll see you at 3 p.m.
By the way, it's also called a Galaxy. It's a Galaxy Tab C7.
Yours is a Galaxy, okay. Samsung Galaxy, good. It's like the brand, you know, they each have their Samsung Galaxy. Yeah. Yeah. You're able to turn it off? Okay. I have to admit, other than pressing on the thing, you have to go down to sleep.
Keep on calling.
I wonder, did you fall? I wonder why it started. Yeah, that was interesting because unless it was a very abrupt movement, it shouldn't. Okay. All right. Let's all walk out. Oops. Uh-oh, one of our new chairs is falling apart. Oh, wow.
I think it was broken already.
Wow.
Maybe there is something clicks.
I have to tell them. I'll go and take it to the front office and show it to them. No. Hey, that's good that we saw how good and bad it can be. Ah.
I realized I was cracked.
Oh no. Maybe that's why it hit it so much that it cracked. One of our new chairs. The first chairs you walk in. I didn't know what to do with it, so I thought I don't want to leave it there because this is the last day I'm in person. Yes. last class. Now I have a week to work and finish up the evaluations. Everything else in the world. Sorry, thank you. Wanted the really breaking apart. Oh. I forgot to mention hard. Last week is waiting and it's in reports and people working. So that's stuff I don't like. Yeah. I like teaching, I don't like. I know, me neither, because I just got one, so I was normally, because they're worried and they think that maybe you just can't answer. Now we know. Thank you for...
I'm so sorry to disturb.
No, I mean, in a way, it was a good demo. People see it's a feature, and we don't know why it got turned on, though. You don't want people thinking, oh, it turns on off all the time. I never hear of it as a big deal, but clearly, somehow it turned on. Have you had it for a while?
Yeah, this is really, I had it forever. Long time.
Has it ever called SOS before?
Yes, when I just got it, and if I go like, I don't want to get it. Like when I drop something, it's not that much time. And the teacher called, this is I said,
And then it stopped. interesting. Never.
The Google Drive through my, how I kept trying to get to Gmail and then trying to get into the drive. And I
So
couldn't
what
get
did
it
you?
in.
Oh,
Which,
years it kept going. It kept something else, and I did. I figured it out.
yeah, so what she does is I go into my Gmail accounts. And now that I've added that, I go into Pipeline, and then into Pipeline, go here. So, got just
It's just, and the computer it's the same
Yeah.
thing, but on the phone, it's
goes by apps.
one app for Gmail, one app for Drive. So you go to the
Okay.
Drive app, and then you change the account, like I
Okay.
told you to. Once you set it up, then you just switch accounts.
Yeah, now we need to drag that into the
Exactly. Make it.
right there.
There we go. Perfect. Now you have it.
Wow, that's really good.
Well, I've taken class, and I keep taking class because my brain fails. So.
Okay.
How tall are you?
5'1.5". Although maybe I'm down a half by now. 5'1".
Okay,
Why?
I'm just about a much from 5'1". Especially.
Yeah, we shorties unite.
Yep.
Oops. Oh, there's one thing and another.
So class, the teacher has that really recorded later.
Yeah, that's what I was just demoing. Everything we did about going to the Drive, that's all the recordings. That's the whole point of what we did today. That, go to that icon, right, double click. And here's the links for day 1, day 2.
Super.
You're
I
welcome.
love that. I think I have to go there.
I think you were out of the room when I did that. Let me actually run to the restroom because it was one thing and another. I had to go take them the broken chair, and next thing I know, talking to you guys, I forgot to use the restroom. Right, everyone come on in. So I keep forgetting. Does everyone know about the food pantry that we have here on campus? The basic needs food pantry that anyone who's a student can use? It's a food pantry. Well, if you guys keep walking straight down, across.
It's now?
I don't know their schedule. I think they're open now. I know they're not open on Tuesdays, but after class, go and check it out. They need your key. They need your K number.
Don't you have to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork?
No, actually, your K number, and they ask you a few questions, and that's it. And yes and no. Need is,
Essential needs is not always food.
yeah, and essential needs isn't always that you're truly hungry. It could be that it's hard to get to the end of the month and it would help to have some good food, or definitely they consider students needy people because many times students don't have, either because they're too young or too old, steady income, right? So that is, so anyway, they're welcome on Thanksgiving. They were giving out turkeys and stuff, so just go and become know where it is.
I think I went down there one time and they wanted me to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not a whole bunch. It's one. They run you through a few questions the first time, and then after that, you just walk in and you just give them your K number. That's all they need always, your K number. And here's the
2026.
the catalogs. You might know are always a little bit off. Sometimes a lot off. So right now, these are out with corrections to the catalog. But these keep getting updated. By the time the spring schedule starts, this one will be old and there'll be some other corrections because a teacher can't teach or someone can do or something got changed or someone found another mistake. So you guys should keep picking these up, right? I'm going to leave them here by when you take the name tags, bring them back or come up and get them one right now.
You know they have to be out
Take
there
one.
for handheld devices on Friday.
It's probably on Friday next session, yeah. Each time it changes.
Oh, okay.
We move things around for different...
No, it was because to fix errors. I just thought it was they were trying to help us by showing the 3 days class.
Yeah, so guys, the printed... the one thing is that when one session, people complain so much about the catalog being wrong that when they started doing it, they stopped doing it for 2 sessions, and not only did attendance drop, but people complain, where's the catalog? But just so you know, the catalog is always wrong, and it's because they have to make it 6 months before the schedule starts. There's missed... These are always hanging in when you're in an entrance in those slots, or in the front office, or I try to bring them into my room whenever I'm in my room. No, where you need to go is the online place to God, I have so much to teach you. After class, I'm happy to stay a little bit longer and show you that, but remind me or I will leave without remembering. I can show you how to get to the schedule where you will always, because the moment they make a correction in the online catalog, it gets a correction, because you can download these from online, but these are manually updated, so someone has to remember to update these, which they can, versus the printed catalog can't. But the online catalog, the moment a correction gets found and made, so sometimes a class that you thought was going to be on Tuesday turns out to be on Wednesday. It's a big change, and people are upset, and it's like, well, A, people entered it wrong, the catalog went to print, it's wrong, or B, the teacher now can't teach it, or they retired, or, things happen. Someone's husband passed away and they can't, things happen, guys. So the catalog, without getting angry about it, just know it's wrong. It gives you an idea what's going to be taught. Like the handheld devices classes is going to be HyFlix next time.
Yeah.
Officially HyFlix. But it's not on the catalog. Because right now it shows up again as only in person. But in the online, it'll show up as both. What's that? HyFlix is this, where I have people online and people at home. That's called HyFlix. But it normally has you sign up to 2 different accounts. A lot of my classes, all the Mac classes, are HyFlix. So when you see them, it looks like it's 2 classes in one, but it's the same moment, but I'm teaching people online and people in person, and it's 2 different CRNs, so try to sign up for the one that corresponds to how you're going to attend. But you can then change your mind. Like Georgia came one day in person and one day at school, at home. It's okay to do that. One day you're always in person. One day you feel sick. That day you want to attend from. It's fine on Zoom. But ideally, if you sign into the right CRN number that shows up under my class name, then it's easier for me when I do attendance to not have to search for you all over the place. But other than that, you can attend whichever way you want.
You asked me to remind you about the conversational,
Translation. Oh.
yeah.
Okay. God, there's so many things. Yeah, no, I know, but you also asked me for hotspot. I put a hotspot, and since I'm doing connections, but you're right, translation. So guys, at 4:15. So I have a reason why I went and showed you how to get to the class handouts, because given the way this class has gone, we talk about a lot of things aside from what's on the handouts. So I want you to be able to access the handouts, because you're going to have to keep reading them up and going to the links on your own for the stuff that we don't make it. And that's why, even though it might seem like I was just, going on the side tangent today, it wasn't. It was on purpose, because even if we had gone straight on to the subject today, we would have not made it to everything I have to teach you, okay? So now you have the class recordings will go until I finish teaching, and that's it. But the handout keeps going, and it has so many links that I want you to keep exploring. Just spend some time on it. Just click on stuff and go, I don't know, just that. Ooh, that's a good one. Like, I put so much stuff in there that there might be stuff you need and stuff that you don't need. And that's above your head, things that are too easy. I put different levels of links and stuff. So I want you guys to know how to get to it, because we won't get to everything. It's clear. And then there's requests in class that I want to attend to, because what's the point of me teaching something that no one wants when there's a request if someone really does want? So I was requested to talk about hotspots last week, so I put hotspots in here, but then I was also requested to talk about the translation apps, and I didn't put it in the handouts, but I can show you right now, because that one's a really quick show, and it's very easy, and it's wonderful. You're on an iPhone in a Google Mail app. So I'm going to say no. Just leave the Google Mail app from your iPhone, because I have too many iPhone things to teach you to also teach you how to use the Google inside of an iPhone. But whenever I teach people how to do Android, that's those little things. Okay? So one thing that I'm going to really do differently next time, I like hands-on. I like to have you guys really figure things out. And I don't think this class has been as hands-on as I'd like. So I'm going to figure out how to rework it so I can give you the information and have you more hands-on. Acknowledging that everyone has a different phone. So this isn't the hand phone. I wish I could create the same thing as I have for my Mac for the Googles, but we don't have that. Someone's alarm is ringing. Someone over there? You have a... Okay. So there's a couple connections that are very important, though, to all handheld devices. So I will talk about Bluetooth, because if you have a handheld device, you can either connect it with cables. We just talked about cables, right? Or you have to connect it with wireless. Now, not charging. Wireless charging is what we talked about last week, okay? This isn't about wireless charging. Oh, what happened to Norma and Kristen? Oh. Okay. They didn't come back? Yeah, their stuff is gone. Well, one of them had told them they had to leave. I guess both had to leave. Okay. So, yeah. So, to charge the phone, there was cables that I just talked about right now, and then there's wireless charging that I talked about last week. That's to charge the phone, period. Now we're done, and battery packs. So we're done with charging phones. Now, when we need to connect other things to our devices. Usually headsets are the thing that we most connect to our devices. Headphones, headsets. Items that we might need to... We mentioned a CPAP device. Is that wired or Bluetooth? Just out of curiosity, I don't know. Well, because you connected it once, yeah. But it's meaning you don't plug it in. So then it's Bluetooth. Anything that works through your phone that's not plugged in is using wireless, is using Bluetooth. The smartwatch is connected to the phone, but there's no wire in between. It's Bluetooth. So any connection that happens to your phone, any device, is there's, I mean, if your phone is measuring your cardio somehow, yes, but if it's a device outside of it that measures your cardio, it needs to tell. Now, there's one chance that the device talks to its account online, and the account online tells your phone, kind of like how the cloud works, right? So there's that. So that's a possibility. But if not, we're left with needing to have, so all these cables that I will deal with later, we need to have a connection. So who knows and is comfortable with, anytime you get a device, knows how to connect it to Bluetooth? Give me raise your hands if you're comfy with Bluetooth. It always works. Okay. Yeah, because that's kind of like what I said about here. Once it's set up, right? The hard thing is setting it up. And the next time you buy a car, you'll have to set it up again. But if you get some help with that, then you're set. Like whenever you walk in here, again, next time you walk in here, your Wi-Fi, your computers, your stuff will connect. But the first time you get a device, you need to tell them to talk. You need to tell them to pair to each other. Okay? They need to pair. So let me go ahead and share this screen so that people on Zoom can see. It's both. Hold on. It's a mutual thing. Oh no, I need to share the entire screen. I apologize.
That's good.
Wait, 1 second. Let me just do the connection first, and then I can. Yes. What was that?
There it is.
Yeah, has to pair. I did finish it. They have to pair. The word pairing. Any device from your phone or your tablets, which are the receivers, so to say, to any device. And right now I'm saying your headsets to your phone. If you have a tablet, if you want to use it with some tablets, you can even use with a mouse, not many. Then there's no cable. You can use it with pencils, but right now the examples I'm going to give are all with headsets because it's the most typical and useful one. But you guys give me ideas what else. I mean, this mouse is connected to the computer, but since we're not talking computers right now, I'm not going to give you the example of a computer, but it's exactly the same thing. This mouse is connected, but there's no cable. It's connected through Bluetooth. This keyboard is connected through cable, but I have the exact pair of this hidden in that cupboard for some reason. I bring it out sometimes and other times not. Catherine, I'm kind of talking about what you're asking. No, that's fine. Just that since it's what you're asking for, I want you to be over here. When you guys talking to each other and you're not part of this conversation, it's fine. But when you're the ones asking me something, I'm going to call on you, not to make you feel bad, but to remind you I'm still answering your question. So this... What was the question? What was your question?
My question is, since this class didn't go too far, is there any other recording that you didn't have?
No, maybe you forgot, but this is the first time I taught this class. Norma used to teach this class. So I don't have any other recordings of this class, and even if I did, it's hard to hear recordings from other times because you don't have the context of having been in the class. But that said, if you go to the recordings of my math classes, you can probably learn from them, even if it wasn't your class. But I do not have a recording of this class. This is my first time around. This was Norma's class. So as I start to accumulate, I will later be able to show more. But right now I have what I have, which is why I'm giving you the PDF with a lot of the information. And the next time you take the class, I'll probably skip some of this and teach some other stuff. And the way those of you who've taken my classes before, there's so much to encompass that it's not that I'm not covering. If I were to cover what we need to cover, I would have just gone lickety-split and you wouldn't have understood anything. I don't need to cover. I need to do the important things, and then we'll take it again and we'll go through other stuff. Does that make sense? Because if I go fast to cover, I can do that, and you'll be like spinning in your chair and going, what did she talk about? It doesn't make sense. There's just too much to learn, right? So I make choices there. And the choices right now I'm making are going to leave some other things out. And when I teach it next time, I'll make other choices. By the time you accumulate 2 or 3 classes, you kind of get the spectrum, right? So these are all different devices. I'm not going to connect one or all of them, but I'm going to say that there is still the possibility of having a wired connection to a computer, for example. You'll notice that a computer might still have a little tiny hole for the typical thing. But there's not a single handheld device that has one of these that I know of that's of any recent, and I'm talking even 8 years, not even recent age, that I know of that you can connect by hand. Now, for a while, you could connect headsets through the lightning cable to iPhones. So those of you who have lightning cable, so you have a phone older than a 15, you could still connect a headset to that. And I know there have been some headsets made that you could connect with a USB-C, in which case you might be able to connect them still to like an Android, right? So does anyone have a wire connected headset to their Android anywhere?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I just took really long to find one. So
exactly.
it's probably going to go away real soon.
They're hard to find, but they are there, and the headset ends in a USB-C that plugs into a phone or a tablet, right? Some tablets still have these guys, but yeah, it's definitely going the way of the dodo. So the best thing is to learn the Bluetooth, because anything that's newish that you buy will only have the Bluetooth choice, right?
With an Android phone, headphone that plugs in has your normal speakerphone, little round plug.
Little round plug, this one. Now this one also connects to Bluetooth. So what happens is that whenever you find a bigger device that's meant for real sound, and it might connect to TVs or to computers, it also now connects with Bluetooth. So I want to use this on my phone, I can, through Bluetooth or through cable. So some of them you can do both,
I
right?
can't see it.
But
Can't see it.
Okay.
oh, you're
Great.
not seeing. I'm just showing a good. Oh, yeah. It's whenever I show things, you guys.
Oh,
these are
that's
big
better.
old-
That's good.
Big old
That's fine.
that
Yeah,
kind of
that-
thing.
Yeah, that's
These are really
I-
high quality sound, and because of all the soft ear muffs, it cancels out sound outside. So if you're trying to do something that really, like a noisy environment, you're trying to watch something, fine, put one of these on. But you don't really need these anymore, because if you pay a lot more money than what these cost, you can buy a tiny set of headphones
Oh,
that
yeah.
also cancel out the surround sound. Now, nothing's ever going to beat these kind of things, but you can't walk around. Well, some kids walk around the city with them. My niece, I have a niece who's basically her head. This is part of her head, right? This huge thing is part of her head. Her head is shaped like that. Buses, wherever she goes, she's wearing that thing.
The nice thing about the ones that you plug in too is that they don't need a battery, they don't need power. Bluetooth, you've always got to recharge the batteries.
Yeah. Nothing plugs in. It connects with Bluetooth. So unless it's one of these big devices, big headsets, any other kind of headset right now does not connect with cables anymore. If there's a plug, it's to charge it. So guess what? A USB-C cable, the ones that we've been talking about, the same one that now all Androids use and any iPhone newer than 2015 use, goes into this and to the wall. So if I don't want to use the cable, I need to charge it, right? Anything that uses Bluetooth has to be charged. So if you still have a device that works without cable, in fact, up until this newest phone, I always carried in my fanny pack when I traveled, when I camped, I always carried a little tiny, thin little tiny headset that ended up in a little lightning cable, because if my headsets weren't charged, that was my fail-safe. I don't have that fail-safe anymore.
Can you do that on an iPhone? Because you have no fail-safe like that on the Android. If you don't have a Bluetooth, you just can't do it.
Well, now that we had to switch to C's, we don't have it anymore. On lightning cords we have them. I still have 5 of those at home that my kids have, but my phone doesn't use it anymore because it's the old lightning cord. That was one of the things we had to give up, right, is those headsets. But anyway, these guys,
I've got that. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. No audio.
Can't hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You guys don't ever see, but I need to take the thing out of my pocket and restart it each time. Okay, so these little ear pods
I
come
just
in
bought a pair.
many different brands. These happen to be Apple,
Yeah.
and they're really expensive. There's not so expensive to very expensive, but none of them are cheap.
Don't you find it amazing that even though it just sits in your ear, you can talk? And you can talk on the phone with it? I do.
Here's the thing. I don't use these. My wallet doesn't let me invest into an expensive set of earphones. I'm also not a music aficionado of the kind that needs to listen to pure music. Any music, I'm kind of fine. Like, people go, oh, that's jingly jangly. Meaning, I can hear it on my phone and still enjoy it, and it doesn't have a good speaker. But some people really want to listen to music really well, then they're going to spend, it's like you can buy yourself a car that gets you to here or there, or you can buy yourself a really nice car. I am not the kind that would buy AirPods, but they're not just headsets. They do this amazing thing of canceling out other sounds while still letting you hear them, which these don't. So when my son puts these on, I'm yelling at him, and he can't hear me. And of course, they have a feature to turn that off where you can hear surround sounds, but teenagers, he will leave it on canceled. These guys, tiny as they are, do the same. You just plug it in the right place, and you can listen, focus on your music and nothing else, and it's almost cancels everything out except for real long sounds. Or you can put it in a setting where you can hear the music and you hear everything, but you still hear what people are talking about. It just deadens the sound, but it doesn't disconnect you from the world. That's a wonderful feature, and it is pretty amazing. And a friend of mine had some once. We were in line, I think, film festival. There were a lot of people around us, tons of people talking. It's the first time I came across one of these, and I put it in my ear. There was so much noise around me. I put him in my ear, and he'd put on some music, and it was like peace and quiet. And I could hear the music. I could not believe these little things could do that. So if that is important to you, go for it. Now, the headsets I actually use, and these are my headsets. These are my real headsets. I lose these. Another reason is I would pay a ton of money and I would lose them because they don't stick to my ears. I don't know how come they stick to other people's ears, but I would lose them. So I still wear the cabled kind. Not cabled to the phone, but cabled to each other. So they go around my neck, and they stay with this little thing that holds them. Okay, so this is what I'm showing. It's headsets, but they're not just the little bud. They have this thing that goes around my ears. And there's this kind that are just like that, and they don't have cable that connects them. They're just little ear things that hook so they don't fall off, and those are better, and they're typically for runners and athletes or whatever buy them, or people like me who knows that these will fall off me and I'll lose them. And I have one extra thing, and this is only me, just like I connect my iPhone, you know how I connect my phone to my pants, whatever, because otherwise I'll leave it whatever. I also I tie a little knot, and I put a little hook, and I connect these to my necklace or whatever I'm wearing around my neck. So on the end of the cable, I make a little knot on it, and I put a little hook. So these go around my neck, and I connect it literally to my necklace right there. So that if they fall, if I'm not paying attention to them, even if they were to do that and be totally dangling, they don't fall off, right? Oh, yeah. It's just instead of just being a cable behind my back, I clip this little bit, right? And I always wear necklaces. I always have a little thing that I've made. This one I made. So it's as simple as that. And you can't lose them. So right now it's connected. And I put them on, I put them on, and then I just, see, little even if they're all the way around, they become a dangly thing on my neck. Because I've tried those and I lose them. But this, I never lose. So basically, that's all it takes. It's the same exact hook I use on the phone for my pants. I use on my headset. So I am the old-fashioned, but this is not connected to the phone. This is connecting one to each other. But I'm still using Bluetooth to connect them to the phone. Does that make sense?
Is that outdated? You can't find them now?
Oh yeah, and these cost $19 or $18 on
They
Amazon.
still can get it?
Where, what is
And
the
the thing
brand?
is, I don't know how long these last. If you don't lose them, they'll probably last years. And they cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. These cost $20. The whole point is that they usually don't last more than a year and a half, 2 years. So I probably I have two going at a time. I have one that I wear and the other one's charging. When I'm done, I disconnect the one and I charge the other. So I have two constantly going, and if one or the other dies, basically I probably spend $40 a year on headsets if I have to replace them once a year, which maybe I don't. Everything that's Bluetooth has to be charged because they don't have any, way to run otherwise. So they have a USB-C that I put to the wall. So I leave one by my bed or by my desk connected and the other one on my body. When it runs out of batteries, it depends because, by the way, I don't live with headsets on my head, but I listen to whenever I'm exercising or walking or cleaning the house or cooking, I'm listening to stories. I'm a bookworm. So I will listen to stories to make the chores go by faster and to get a chance to read that I like to read, and I don't have a chance to sit down and read. So then when it conks out, it might last 2 days. It might last 7 hours. If I'm listening to something for 7 hours, they'll die, and then I'll switch. So I have two running at a time. So that's my solution, but they still have to be charged. These have to be charged. This has to be charged. Anything that plays music has to be charged. And so, once they're charged, they hold their charge until you use them pretty well. They don't lose their charge for the most part. I mean, months later they might.
That question.
So let me show you how to connect them.
Okay.
Let me show you how Bluetooth works. Now, I believe these have never been paired, and this is what matters. I believe they've never been paired. That's why I brought this one. They might have been paired, but I think not. What does pairing means? This phone needs to recognize this machine. This speaker has to recognize this phone. They have to pair. They both have to recognize each other. Okay? Now, this is, I said, with mice, with keyboards, with pads, with everything. You can connect this computer to that computer through Bluetooth. Anything wireless that has Bluetooth can be connected to anything else through Bluetooth. So I'm just showing you a phone to not even a headset, but a little speaker. Okay? Because it's more portable. So what matters is when you first buy anything that's connected by Bluetooth, it'll come with a little, they don't have manuals for anything anymore, but they will have a little tiny little trifold piece of paper. And there's one thing that matters is if there's a special code from factory that you need to know. Sometimes there's none, and sometimes there's a code. And that's the only thing that matters, because it might say, to make this work, press 000. Or to make usually a little simple code like that, or plus 1, 2, 3, when they ask for a code. And then others just connect by connecting. So if there is a code, you need to know what it is. So let me connect this one to the computer, and then, I took the cable off, and then I'll show you how Bluetooth connects. I was demoing this, and I took it off the phone. Here we go. So there's a lot of theory of Bluetooth there in the handsets, but right now I'm just showing you the reality of how it works. So I can only show you one thing at a time, though. I can't show you the headset. I will show you. I will talk you through. So if you say you can't see, you'll have to see me in the little window. The phone has to be on, and then I'll do it with an Android. Okay, so I hope I haven't paired with this. If not, I'll try to pair with something else. Otherwise, someone else has a pair of headsets that I haven't paired with. So first of all, both devices need to be turned on. My phone is on, as you can see, so I'm going to turn this one on, which it usually have an on and off button or whatever.
Both on.
That was a little button that I just pressed to turn it on. This is charged. It's on. So they both have to be on first, okay? Any question, anything happening there that I need to know about? Catherine, Barbara, anything I need to know about? Any help? The one that's behind? You don't, just look at mine. Just look at mine. Because what I need you to get to is to the Bluetooth connection that I'm demoing, not to what, those are links to how to get to Bluetooth. So right now, in fact, that I'm going to stop that share so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, but really, please focus on me and not on what's saved, because then I have to repeat myself. Don't, right now, do anything other than looking at my phone. In fact, I'm going to hide the handout, because I really don't want you to look at the handout right now. I want you to look at my Bluetooth connection. Okay, and I'm going to close these things. I don't want anything in the way. This is all you need to be looking at. Okay? That and this. So I've turned on my Bluetooth device, whichever device it might be. It happens to be this one, right? And I've turned on my phone. So on your phone, you have to go to your settings. Android or iPhone. I can only show one at a time. Actually, I can actually phone. No, I can't show the Android at the same time because it's the other window. So I'm starting with iOS, which is handheld devices that are any iOS. So phones or iPads, right? So if you have two, put one next to each other and look for this on both. All right. So I'm going to open my settings, and remember my settings are going to be either I know where they are, or hold on. I have to use the other mouse.
Oh, this one.
I either know where the settings are, or I have to do a search. So everyone, click on your settings, and if you don't know where your settings are, go to the search right there. Click on search, and if you don't see the settings, the search there, then tell me and I'll help you find your settings. So give me a yes. Anyone who has an iPhone or an iPad, give me an A-OK. You got to your settings. And then there's a quick way to get to the settings. But when you first pair them, this is the only way to do it. Go into the settings. Once you've paired them in the future, you don't need to do this each time. Then it's just, you turn it on and they connect, like Wi-Fi is going to do. But the first time you just buy it, you need them to know each other, which is what they did to you in your car. Somebody's paired it. Now you walk into your car and the phone knows you because it was paired the first time. So what I'm demoing is the pairing part. Yeah, so this has to have a name, and looking at it, it's VTQN or VTIN or something like that. It's usually the brand name. So I'm going to go to Bluetooth, which is right there.
Bluetooth?
And it has to be on.
Yes.
And right now, when I go to Bluetooth, it immediately is picking up Odium. Odium is this brand. It's picking up these headsets, okay, because it knows them. It's picking up Geraldine's device, an iPad, an iPhone, Mary Ellen's iPhone, because yes, phones can connect through Bluetooth. So see how as soon as I check in the settings, it keeps picking up a bunch of phones, all of our phones, right? But I can't connect if the other side doesn't connect. It's not like I can suddenly slip into your phone. You have to be able to, because I told you it's mutual, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this one. Oh, I had to turn it on. And when I turn it on, now they both have like 30 seconds where they're sending each other signals. And it's a short time. And you have to be paying attention. And over here, you have to look at the things that appear and hope that they recognize each other. Because literally, see, this thing, that circle is looking. And this thing, it needs to find it. And I'm not saying, I hope this has got was charged. Yeah, because it turned on. It's not finding it. I'm waiting for something called VTIN. My other phone has it already. Come on. Sometimes it takes a little while. I'm waiting for this to appear. VTQN or VTIN. Let me turn it off again. And start it again. No, the phone is searching, but this has to search for it. And it only does it for about 30 seconds after turning it on. So after that, it's just sitting there being nothing. So now they're talking, but it might be that this is not connected enough because all of you guys are showing up, but it's not showing up. No, this thing has its own name. Since this is not working,
You know what I tend to do if I just like get that a lot, is you turn your Bluetooth off and turn it off.
sometimes it works, but in this case, I don't know. So I just turned it on and off.
Yeah, you just turn your Bluetooth on and off.
Okay, so the first connection is hard. As you can see, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And you need to try it a bunch of times. This one is not being picked up. Oh, I know why it's not being picked up. Duh, I know. This one automatically connects to it because I use these speakers. Okay, good point this happened. Bluetooth devices can only connect to one device at a time. So it's automatically connecting to this one when I turn it on. And it's like, ugh. So what I need to do is I'm going to turn off the Bluetooth on this phone for a second so it can't connect. Okay. So now, hopefully my Android too, because I had tested that with my Android. Here it is. Can you see it? How it appeared? There it is. VT.
Down at the bottom.
Down at the bottom. That's because it was connecting to my other phones. Okay, so finally they're talking, so I click on it, and then it says VTIN Q1 connected. I was like, that's weird. This is a pretty reliable product. It's just that my phone has been paired to it. My real phone has been paired to it. So it was like, ooh, you turned me on. And it was trying to play through the other one. So I had to turn the other Bluetooth off for this one to respond. Now, hold on. Now I can go play something. Let me go to YouTube, for example, or Spotify or something, and let me just play, because I never use YouTube here. See? YouTube is saying, oh, let me track your activities. No, not track. iPhone, I know, this phone is very full. I know. Oh, I can't clean it now. Done. This phone is the sample phone. Needs to be cleaned. Okay. Come on, stop it. Okay, so let me turn on something. This. You're hearing it. The sound on. That is not playing on my phone, it's playing on this. You see that? Because I connected it to a speaker.
You just apply it to the speaker, not the phone?
I just adjusted it. I could do both. I just put it on loud here, but I can also do it from there. So if I came now to this phone and adjusted the volume here, it would go down there. Okay. All I had to do was pair. Let me just stop it. I need to go to whatever the next thing is. Okay, whatever the next is playing through this. If these were my headsets, they would be playing in my ear. Let me just stop that. Okay? So all it took was pairing them. Now that has been paired for the first time ever. Next time, like my other phone, that I'm in the vicinity of this phone, when I turn it on, this thing will automatically go connected. Right? The problem was that I had 3 other things here that knew how to connect to it, and that's why. But once the others were off, then all you need to do is choose its name. So I told you I have 2 of these running all the time. They're both called Odiums. So I changed the name of one of them and called it Odium 1, Odium 2. You can change the names. You can call it, Odium is the brand, O-T-I-U-M. But I could call it Headphone 1, Headphone 2. since this one has the name on it, VTQIN, it's easier to keep it as VTQIN because I recognize it. But if the thing doesn't have a brand name on it and it's hard to know, just call it the black headphones. You can change the name of whatever the device is. The whole point is you need to just select it. Once they pair, they know each other, right? Then they can start talking, and then you can start playing music, and it'll play through the headphones or through the headsets. Now, no, it appeared. You saw it. It just popped in. I was sitting there going, it's not working, it's not working. You didn't see me trying to type in because it doesn't work that way. They need to talk. It needs to be automatic. And then I figured out, oh, yeah, it's already it won't connect to two devices. So if you try to connect to it, you won't be able to until I disconnect mine and turn my Bluetooth off. Then it can get onto yours. Well, if your headsets are only playing on one side, it's because the cables are going bad. That's just one side is dying. Many times I use only one side for quite a while before I decide to go buy another one because they usually die one at a time, and by the time the other one's dead, then the whole thing's dead. But one at a time they do die. Now, the only advantage of these guys is that sometimes when you have these cabled ones and one dies, the whole thing dies. Like it starts bzzz and you can't use it because it's in your ear. When it starts bzzing, that's kind of it. And other times it just dies. Versus these guys, this is an off-brand one that my kids have, and they lost one. Probably in the wash, probably in the street. Who knows? They lost one, which is why they get the off-brand. Also, like $18 ones. But the good news is you can still use one side as long as that's what you want to do. Just as much as any of these, you can use one side. Now, these little boxes are their chargers. They're not just a box to hold them. So they have an input in that case, and then this one has a little cable. So it's a USB-A type, again, same device, same connections you've been seeing, and USB-C. So you plug them in to charge them because you need to charge it, and when they run out of their charge, there's no sound coming through them anymore. So you need to plug them in again. They lose their charge. What? Yeah, so this one goes straight in to a USB-T because it has its own cable, but most of them don't. Most of them have a port like your phone, and you need to put, oh, I disconnected. That's that sound the drummer is playing. Or you connect it and you, what? Yeah, this one is actually an old set of AirPods. So this is the Lightning, this one, because it's old and this one's type A, but the newer ones are all with C. Yeah, all Apple stuff was Lightning, and they slowly have switched. So this is an old headset, and now you're charging. And when it's done, you open it up, they come out of their little beds, they're charged. Now, if you've been using only one, the other one's charged, this one isn't, you put it away and then use the other one, right? Yes, they are marked right or left. So to use them on one side, one at a time, you have to use, they are marked because they fit in a certain way.
Diana, I have a question.
If the iPhone uses the same charger as the Galaxy chargers, can you actually use
I have a question.
will it work on either one?
What's that?
Will the headphone work on an Android since it uses the same charger?
Yes, headsets, great question. Headphones are not device reliant. You can buy AirPods and connect them to an Android. Oh my goodness. Yes, you can. Oh.
It would cost more than the phone.
You can buy these and connect them to an Android. You can buy these and connect them to an iOS. It doesn't matter what device. Bluetooth is merely a cable connection that's got no cable. So anything can be connected to anything. Printers can be connected, keyboards, mice, everything. Yeah, so that's a good point. Remember I said before, you don't have to have your Wi-Fi turned on your phone all the time, nor the Bluetooth. Because, let me just share my phone again now. And this again I'm sharing on the phone, but it's the same on Android or on the phone. If you use Bluetooth devices all the time, like you're always having a headset on or something, leave it on all the time. But if it's off, it uses less battery. So if you're one of those people whose phone runs out by the end of the day, just turn Bluetooth off. And if you have good data on your phone, then turn your Wi-Fi off and use data if you have unlimited data. But if your data is slow and you're at home and you want it to go faster, use Wi-Fi. But if you're out walking on the streets with Wi-Fi turned on, you're spending the day here. Well, today in particular we are using Wi-Fi here. But if you're spending the day in your jewelry class, your phone is constantly trying to find a connection. You're driving down the street and the phone with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on, they're like, is there a Bluetooth device I need to connect to? Is there a Wi-Fi I can connect to? Checking, checking, checking. You're walking down the street, checking, 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 checking. And you'll see, if you were to be looking at your Wi-Fi all the time, you'd be walking around and you'd see all these things appear, which is all the neighbors, all the people that you're walking by are connecting. But here's why it's so important at home. You guys have to have a password on your Wi-Fi. Otherwise, your neighbors could run past your Wi-Fi and connect to your connection. But right now, if I click on any of these, you know how hard it was to get in, right? Over here, because there's passwords and everything. You need to protect your Wi-Fi connection at home so that people don't just walk in and connect. They need a password that you know and you give them. That way, I can walk down my neighborhood, and as I walk, I can see 10, 15 Wi-Fis, because everyone's Wi-Fi. If you have an apartment building, 25 Wi-Fis appear. But I shouldn't be able to connect to any of them, because they should all be passworded. Same with these devices. I shouldn't be able to just click on anything and go in. The first time you connect, some devices will ask you for a password. Others won't. And it has happened. People talk about like baby monitors that they have on all day, and then suddenly the neighbor's listening into the baby monitor because they connected to it or something. So anyway, just be careful.
But like when you're at the store, like at Whole Foods or something, and then you have the Amazon and you need to be your, then you have to be connected to the Wi-Fi, right?
Oh, data.
Yeah. Data is enough?
Data is enough, yeah.
And then to pay your thing.
Data. Data is enough. Data is enough for all of that. Now, for example, when I go to Argentina or when I travel, data is really expensive. I have to buy my data by the amounts of data I'm going to use. So when I'm traveling and I buy, say, 10 gigabytes of data, I use it sparingly. I'll be connected to Wi-Fi all the time. You pass by a bakery that has Wi-Fi, you connect. You pass by a cafe that has Wi-Fi, you connect. You go to the library, you connect. Like, you try to connect to Wi-Fi to not use your data. But if you don't care and you bought a big batch of data on your card, then just use data. But data is what we use 99% of the times when we're out on the, if we're in the middle of a park and your phone is still working, it's because it's using data. There's no Wi-Fi there.
Because I think it was yesterday at Whole Foods, they said, oh, you need to put on your Wi-Fi.
Maybe it's an area that has bad data. There are places in town that have bad data connection, but otherwise you don't. But you can if you don't want to use your data. Now here, most of us have unlimited data plans at this point. Do you remember when it used to be that you paid for every little bit of data, and at some point it all turned into unlimited, right?
Yes.
So once it became unlimited, you don't need to have Wi-Fi on unless you want speed. So if you're watching a movie, you better have Wi-Fi on, because through data it's going to trickle in and you're going to stop, and it's going to, data isn't as fast as Wi-Fi. But if there's no need for Wi-Fi, keep it off. If your phone doesn't make it to the end of the day, if you got a phone that is making it to the end of the day, just leave them all on. But as it gets older and the battery begins to fail, those are the things you want to keep in mind. Data, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth, just have them off unless you're using them. Yes, Milton?
You mentioned earlier that some speakers may require a code to put in to sync the phone.
You'll know, not so much speakers, but like a device, like I have, well, the smartwatch needs to be, they have a thing that you show it in the camera, like it says, a thing appears that looks like stars, and you're supposed to put your camera and point to it, and it reads it, and it goes, oh yeah, and it connects it that way. So you just follow instructions. But I have some air filters that we don't use them through Wi-Fi, but we could. Again, those things that you buy now and that you don't know, but they could be Wi-Fi, and then you could turn it on or off. And so when you connect those L filters, they have a little code there that says punch in 000. So if at L it asks for it, it'll be attached to the device.
Speakers, just hold them together with Wi-Fi and it'll sync.
Not Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. Bluetooth. No, 90% no.
So I was just wondering, how do you connect to your data on the phone? You go into settings,
Connect to data. You just the fact that your
turn
phone
on
is
your data.
you when you went to AT&T and they connected it from inside AT&T, you tell them what your number is and they connect it. It's a SIM card. That is a completely different creature. You don't. Now, do you want to disconnect from your cell phone? Again, I didn't want to use data. I didn't want to do long distance calling when I was in Europe with my AT&T because they charged me $12 a day. So you go to the settings and you go to cellular, that's data, right? And you just turn it off. I have, right now, see it has primary and secondary, and that's because I used a second SIM card at home in Europe, but otherwise I would just say primary. You turn it on and you just say off. And that's turning off cellular. It's a bit different. Where's the Android? But it's basically, yeah, so let me, this is not fair. I left this one, I left it off. That's why I have to restart it. Last time it was out of charge. This time I had left it off. So give me a second while it turns on. But all of this is under connections, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, cellular. But why would you ever want your phone without a phone connection? That's the part that the only time I ever turn it off is A, when you're on an airplane, if you turn it in airplane mode, or B, because I don't want to pay $12 a day when I'm overseas, I turned it off and I turned on the card that I bought just to use in Europe.
Okay, well, I was just, because you say, you were saying you didn't want to use Wi-Fi to turn your data on, and I was wondering.
No. Data's on all the time.
Oh, okay.
Turn your Wi-Fi off or on.
Oh,
But you don't touch data.
So
You don't
your
touch data.
Wi-Fi
As long
is
as you
off,
have an
then you
unlimited plan, you don't touch data.
I think I have an unlimited plan. I pay $10 a day.
Okay.
I very carefully turn it on and off when I need it.
Yeah, so I did that for years, and with 2 kids and everything, everyone is allowed. We had 2 gigs for the whole family for years. And at some point, it turned out that they started needing it for school because, school needs it and this and that. And so finally, we switched to, I think, 10 gigabytes. And then we discovered that 10 gigabytes for the whole family versus unlimited was like $5 extra because that's what they did. It used to be really expensive. Unlimited was like rich people would get. And then it became more and more accessible. And then suddenly, unlimited and data. Now, if you're one only person who doesn't use the phone to watch videos and that kind of stuff, or if you use the phone to all that, but you do it from your home where you have Wi-Fi, that's an important thing. You have to be on the streets and wanting to download files or stream videos. That's when you would need huge amounts of data. At that point, you need to buy yourself an unlimited plan, because if not, they charge you per the minute, and that becomes ridiculously expensive. So there's no reason to turn off data. If you have an unlimited plan, forget it, never turn it off. If you have a limited plan, and it's just you on that plan, and you're always around Wi-Fi, then yeah, buy yourself the smallest data plan you can, because it's going to still be $5 or so, or maybe even $10 cheaper, depending on what you have, which does add up. But it's not that much more expensive anymore to get the unlimited. So most people, when I ask, they have it. Check your plans. That's got nothing to do with your phone. It's whatever you pay Verizon or AT&T or Sprint or whoever your phone plan is. Check. They tell you how much data you use. And if you're someone who's regularly using less than 10 gigabytes of data, don't have unlimited. Sign into one of their lower plans. You can see how much data you use. And for example, my husband and I never used data. But then our kids started using it because they had to go to school and they had to use it there. and they would be maxing it. One of them would max it out, and we're like, stop using it. And the other, so finally, we just switched to unlimited because it was just, and then we had 2 kids living with us during pandemic. That's when we said, we're going to unlimited because everyone needed it at the same time.
Diana,
Yeah.
we have some questions here at home.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Georgia was first.
My question is, I have the Amazon Fire, and which does have a Bluetooth capacity. I just looked it up.
Yeah. All tablets.
And my phone is connected into my car, which is obviously a Bluetooth connection. My car is very old. I'm not sure I could get the Fire to connect
Well, why would
directly.
you want the Fire to connect? Let me clarify. Even if it does or doesn't, the only reason the phone connects to the car is because you need, if a phone call comes in, you want to attend it wirelessly,
Yes.
right? And do you need to do that with a tablet?
What
No.
I'd like to do is listen, but I'd like to listen to um,
Yeah.
ebooks while I'm
While you're driving, yeah.
driving, audiobooks.
So here's the thing. What I do when I'm driving, because my tablet doesn't connect to the phone either, because it depends
Okay.
on the age of the car, the age of the tablet, the age of everything. And I don't know that the Amazon, you would need to go to read the specs of the things that you're buying and would they connect. But hold on, I just have one headset in of these, and I listen to audiobooks the whole time I'm driving, but I only have one in because you want to listen to traffic, because I don't have the fancy ones that let you listen in and out. So I have one in, and I listen to everything with Bluetooth connection to my tablet. But my phone doesn't connect to the car. My husband's connects to the car. Otherwise, never mind. You could connect 2 different phones to the car, but we've chosen to have my son and my husband connect to the car because they want to listen to music when they're driving, and I just put on my headsets and listen to my story, so I don't care. So we chose, because my car can only do 2 connections, right? And 3 of us drive it. So that's just what we decided. But I have never tried to connect my tablet to a phone, and I really don't know if it's possible. But you know what? That's good old Google for you. Let's check and see. Can an Amazon, I can't keep answering questions. Can an Amazon Fire connect to cars
Via Bluetooth.
through, I was going to say with Bluetooth? I have cables all over. 25 cables on my keyboard. Can an Amazon Fire tablet rear seat entertainment with Amazon Fire TV? Looks like you can. But Fire TV, can it use an Amazon Fire tablet in a car? Yes, you can use a tablet in the car. Q&A. So basically, can Amazon Fire connect to Bluetooth? Yes. So pairing Kindle Fire HD with Bluetooth in car. Click on that. How do I pair cars on Bluetooth? So it looks like it's a big question, and I'm looking to purchase that. You should be able to. The car stereo. I have a 2011. Maybe my 2011 would do that. I don't know.
2006.
Also answered here. So basically follow, that one's at all. So basically follow instructions on literally, you have to ask Google the exact 2 things you have, and they'll tell you how to pair them. So I guess it's Google. In the tablet section of the handout, which we have barely used the handout today, let me share it. I have the 3 kinds of tablets. So you had a question too, Blas, while I'm setting this up?
Yes, real quick. Is Wi-Fi really safe at businesses like bakeries and coffee shops?
Well, precisely that's what I have going on here in this thing, is that you can, someone asked me about hotspots. So above this is all about Bluetooth, but this is what comes right after. And since we just did Bluetooth, but if you go to the handouts, you'll, let me see, above here I have how to set up Bluetooth devices, what's a Bluetooth, all the stuff that we just did, right? So you guys can read in all the different connections about that. But here I'm in hotspots. Now, when we say what's a hotspot, this is a hotspot, what we did here. So we think of hotspots as something else, but this is a hotspot. Having a Wi-Fi available for you to connect is a hotspot, right? And so if I'm a restaurant or a cafe, I would have the same setup. And I would make sure that it isn't 100% public. I would have the clients come and ask me what's the password. And they usually give you a little, they show you the password and you type it in. So they would say, if the cafe is called French Cafe, they'd usually have a password kind of like French Cafe 1234 or something like that. That means 15 minutes to the end of class. So that's a hotspot, and you're connecting to their Wi-Fi. But so this video that you watched tells you about all of those, but it also tells you that, and so this is basically, I'm not going to make you go through that, even though it also tells you about the mobile hotspots, which is, hold on, let me go to the next one. The mobile hotspot. The mobile hotspot is your phone functioning as a Wi-Fi through data, which maybe Chris wouldn't do because that eats up your data, or me. We chose not to do that. So in my plan that I pay, I have the possibility of setting up my phone through data as Wi-Fi for my computer. So for example, my computers don't have data. They don't connect to phone systems. So computers can't connect to data if I'm sitting in my car or if I'm camping in the park in the Sierras or something, right? But my phone might still connect to data. So through my phone, I can set my phone as a hotspot to get my computer to connect to the internet. I have a limit on that. In my account, I only pay for a 5 gigabyte connection, like an emergency situation only would make me use that. Because 5 gigabytes very quickly will use up. So it's the minimum you can have. Like without wanting it, that's what they give you. So if you guys have to go find in your phone account, if you're paying for how much gigabytes data you can use as a hotspot. And if you do, then you turn it on and you can connect yourself, like your computer finds your phone and uses it as Wi-Fi. But the question that Blas asked, both this or those hotspots that I was just talking about at the cafe are going to be public. Your hotspot you can protect with a password. You don't want to turn on a hotspot and be at a cafe and have a lot of people be able to connect to your phone also, because then they can get into your data, right? So if you set up your phone as a hotspot, you need to have a password for it. And that way, if Denise turns on her Wi-Fi and she finds my phone, like I turn on my Wi-Fi and I found your guys' phones, if I try to connect, I would need your password. And if you're my friend, you can give me your password, but if you're just another person at another table, you wouldn't give them the password. Same with that Wi-Fi that's available at the cafe. That one is public. It still has a password, but if everyone at the cafe has asked for that password, that's 20 people at the cafe using it. What's the chance that everyone's using it? But if 20 people at the cafe are using it, all those are connected to one Wi-Fi. You and I can't do anything about it. But a hacker who knows what they're doing could, through that public Wi-Fi, get into your phone and your data. So they say don't use Wi-Fis at airports and at places where there are conglomerations of people. Public Wi-Fis, like that one. You know when you go to the airport and have you ever gone to the airport and you can connect for free to LAX Wi-Fi? I don't know if LAX has it, but in Europe and Argentina. See, cell data is cheap here. But when you go to other countries, that's why people use Wi-Fi and WhatsApp, because cell data is expensive. In Europe and Argentina, it's expensive. So people don't want to use their cell data because they have a limited amount. No one has unlimited plans there. You have a limited amount of data, so use Wi-Fi whenever you can. You arrive at any cafe, at any restaurant, at any public supermarket, they have a thing that says, this is our Wi-Fi, this is our password. It's there. So it's public in that you just ask for it and they give it to you. So anyone in the area who's been there before walks in, like if you go study at a bar all the time, bars, not bars, over there they're called bars like cafes and stuff, not like drinking bars. You don't go straight to a drinking bar, but over there you can go to something called, it's more like a cafe. You go to a cafe to sit and study all the time, you just walk in and you're connected. right? Just like you did walk in here. But that's public, and if someone else is connected, and that someone else happens to be a hacker, they can get into your systems. If you go to Starbucks and you connect to Starbucks, don't start connecting to your banking accounts. Like, go watch a movie, you're fine. Go check out something on YouTube, check even your Facebook, who cares? But don't go check your bank. Does that make sense? You got to be careful because of what people are doing. And when you're in an airport, that you're using passports and codes and those things that get boarding passes, you really want to limit getting onto that free. But many times you have to do it. You arrive to a country, you don't have yet cell data. The only way to say I'm home, come pick me up or whatever, is using their Wi-Fi. Just be careful, connect, use it, and disconnect, and don't use any of the banking apps or any of that. Don't start doing currency apps and stuff right then and there on their Wi-Fi. Go and buy yourself a SIM card. Ideally, you buy yourself a SIM card for that country before you travel. So when you get there, you immediately connect to their cell phone data plan, and that's what you use, and that's private. But any Wi-Fi that's public is possible to be dangerous. So here we go. Hackers can distribute, and even if they don't hack into your data, they can put in your phone, they can put malware, or they disable your computer through an unsecured Wi-Fi connection. So when someone gives you a password, a cafe that gives you a password, that's not unsecured, but still, if you're all on the same connection, it's iffy. But if you walk into an airport and it's free, or you walk into a restaurant and they go, oh yeah, it's free, just connect, then those are the ones that are insecure. This is not insecure. Look at how it took everyone to connect. And you can only do it if you have a username and password. You have to be a student. A visitor has that SB, Santa Barbara guest that you guys saw, and it's so hard to get in, and it's a limited amount of time. That's what guests use. They're not students. Okay? So does that answer your question, Blas?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay.
Diana,
Let me
I
just...
can't find this stuff about hotspots in my handout.
Yeah, so...
Is that a new handout?
Yes. Oh, you didn't hear me at the beginning. I told everyone, refresh your handout. This is all new stuff I put in today. When you go to the site that I took you today for handouts, the PDF there's like 15 or 17 new slides that I made or more.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so re-download it, please. Okay. So here I have how to get Wi-Fi and hotspots on your Androids and how to do it on your phones. Okay. It just lives there until you need it. Like, your phone has the capability of becoming a hotspot. That's all it is, but it's not on. So say that you take this to Alice Keck Park, and for some reason you want to sit on a bench there and use your computer. Well, there's not going to be any way. If you want to go to the internet, your computer won't connect. If you want to send an email that's urgent, for some reason you need to work on your computer, not on your phone, then your computer becomes, you turn this hotspot on, and then your phone, when you look for possible hotspots, it'll find your phone. Go to Wi-Fi, and it should find your phone, because you have it on. Right? But you have to turn on your Wi-Fi. And then you turn it on, and that means that you're using... So what I'm saying is, if you go to Wi-Fi, and your phone's hotspot is on, it should be able to connect to Denise's phone, or whatever your phone is called. And then it's using, through your data plan, it's going through Wi-Fi. Okay? So it's all about your data plan. So I have I have two slides, one for Android, one for iOS, okay, how to use it, and lots of links. But basically, you need to just turn it on. And this is important, it says allow others to join. Denise, go to your on and make sure it says allow others to join. And then, is there a password on it? Okay, so then if I try to join right now, I wouldn't be able to because I wouldn't have your password. Unless you're my friend and you say, oh, here's my password, and you're letting me use it, okay? So it's not dangerous until you give away your password. Then everything is dangerous when you give away your passwords, okay? So there's like 5 or 7 slides about that. And then there's a slide about VPN. Nowhere near being able to explain VPN right now, so I'm going to pass on that. But if you really want absolute privacy, then you would go to VPN. It's a lot of drawbacks, and it costs you money. But then that gives you absolute privacy. Some sites won't connect with VPN, but as long as they connect, that's the most private. And a lot of people aren't listening anymore, so I guess I've lost your attention. I'm like, they're not even listening, that I'm saying you're not listening. All right. Just trying to show you that what's coming next, because we only have 5 minutes left, is information about tablets. I just basically have types of tablets, iOS and Androids. As usual, it's easier to show you the iOSs because they're limited versus the Androids. There's bazillions of brands. But I have this one recommending specific tablets. I'm going to let you guys click on that. Here I have a simple beginning of how to use a tablet, and then the actual Android guidebook there. And this one is old, but it's so well explained, so it might not be exactly how the one you have, but I actually found this one and liked it, but I don't know. It might be features that aren't the same right now. So check it out to learn a lot, even if you have to then use one of the newer ones. Guide to Digital Help for Parents. This one's long. And it's made for parents, so it talks a lot about security and, you know, how to keep the kids out of trouble. But because it's for parents who aren't it's Australian. It's for parents who aren't technologically that with it, and their kids need to be protected. It's very clear and simple explanations, because they're talking to people who their kids have devices and they don't, and they need to understand how to do things. So it's very simply explained. And so these are all tutorials that I found, you know, the 5-minute one or the 18-minute one, you're going to get different information, but they seem to be relatively well, softly explained. Oh, there's a gnat tutoring me.
Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to walk you through kind of a beginner's guide.
Anyway, so that's one of them. And then I have a lot of links of good stuff. This is the newest stuff, what they can do right now. Pixel phones, I hear, or Pixel tablets. And then we go to pads. Again, there's a ton of iPads. Like, it's ridiculous how many models they have. And so here's like the best ones to buy. And so according to this guy, right? Wired, which is very reliable. And they tell you why and which. So it explains a little bit that. But then what really matters is this thing. You have to identify your models. So in the Androids, I also had a way to discover which model you have. So here's how you would identify the model of your iPad. And then, once you identify the model of your iPad, you just go to the sites and find them like we did before. You click and you go, okay, so this is to compare them, right? This to that, which one do I want to buy? Just like we did with the phones. Do I want to buy that one, or do I want to buy this one, or do I want to buy that one, right? There's all these reasons why you might want one over the other. Wow, there's a mosquito. And they're all iPads. One is barely bigger than a big phone, which is the mini, and the other one is, you know, bigger than your screen on your laptop. And the iPad Pros can do incredible stuff. Like it says here, it's overkill for most regular users, right? Anyway, so here are the links for that. And here, all the manuals. So no matter which one of these you have, and you keep going, you go to this link, and discover with the link with the other page, discover which one you have, because look at how many iPads exist.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So you discover the one that you have with the instructions on this sheet in front, and then you go, oh, that's the one I have. You click on that one, and it takes you to the manual for that one, right? So there you go. You can just do that. And then at the end, I have the Amazon Fire tablet, which Georgia says she had. Does anyone? I thought there was one more person who had a Fire. Or was it just Georgia? It was Georgia, but you were sitting here, and so
I got it. Yeah.
Steve had a tablet. And then some of you have. Does anyone have a Surface Pro? It's a computer. It's a laptop, but that can be turned into functioning like a tablet. It's a laptop that comes with a disconnected keyboard, so you could. Yeah. Yeah. So it's really a computer that you can disconnect the keyboard or not and use as you would an iPad. Of the two, I would prefer an iPad because my son had a Surface But anyway, that depends, right, on your needs. And if you're accustomed to Android, then it's much better for you because it's Android. So again, there's a ton of different Fire tablets, and as it says here, they're much cheaper. The prices might seem too good to be true, but they work not only for reading, but they don't read like a Kindle would. They read like a shiny computer would, but they are much cheaper. So if you just want something that does more than a book, but you don't want to carry your computer around, you just want the basics of a tablet, and you want it to be cheap, the Fire tablets are good for that. They won't have all the features that a good, expensive Galaxy tablet would have or an iPad would have. So you need to discover what you want. You just want to watch movies, you want to play games, you want to, like, why would you want a tablet? Like, you would sit to work on a computer. You would communicate on your phone. Why do you want a tablet? Discover what you want the tablet for. Like, what's your need for a tablet? And then, yeah, you can pay anything from, $300 to $2,000. So you look in between there what your needs are. You can replace almost your laptop with a big expensive tablet, but they're going to cost almost the same. So then why not have a laptop? Well, because it's lighter, more portable, right? So there's goods and bads. Or like, and he didn't have the connection here either, but see, this is an example of an iPad with a cover. I think I showed you the other day. The cover has a tablet, has a keyboard, and it connects with Bluetooth to itself, and then you can actually have a real keyboard. Otherwise, you have to have the digital keyboard that we all know. That on a tablet, it functions much better than on a phone. But you can have a real keyboard, and that's a function of buying a cover. That's a keyboard. It's not part of the tablet. Versus if you buy a Surface Pro, it's kind of like this. It's supposed to be a computer, but it's kind of like this, in that it's got like a detachable keyboard that comes as part of it. And so, but that one is a computer that functions as a tablet. This is a tablet trying to function as a computer, right? They're kind of step on each other's toes. But they work. If it's an Amazon, if it's an Android, it works like an Android. The Amazon is a Android tablet. So if you know how to use an Android in general, a Fire follows the same things. Only a Fire, like it says here, it is crafted specifically to deliver you the Amazon goods. But once you swipe that away, it works like any Android, right? So that's information and lots of links in case you want to use your Surface Pro as a pad. If you have one, I put it in there. My son had one, and he did home with that. And anyway, I have a lot more stuff we didn't get around to. So use it, learn from it. There's a ton of info in here. Class is over. One second. Let me just finish the class. I'm happy to stay and answer questions, right? But I just wanted to say that class is over. But that this Friday is registration for next session. Okay? If you actually over here, I think I had shown you last time, at the bottom I have these classes here, links to what I'll be teaching. Well, this one I actually finished, so that one happened this Friday. I will send you all an email one of these days when I get around to it, before Friday. I will send you an email with a list of what I will teach next spring. And the instructions on how to register, but if you need help or whatever, let me know. And I can't register. Many people go, oh, I want to take these 3. They send an email to me. It's like useless. I cannot register anyone. You have to register yourself. Otherwise, I could register everyone to my classes. They'd all be full. You have to register yourself. But I have instructions on how to do it online. Many people still come here with a paper, so try, if you want to do it online. And if it doesn't work, then you come here. All right. I sent you a request for an evaluation. Please answer it if you have a chance. And I hope to see you all after Christmas and New Year's sometime next year. Good health, good luck, happy holidays. And it was great knowing. I finally meet new people. A lot of times I kind of see the same faces, so I really appreciate having met new people. Bring me your name tags. Take one of these handouts. And make sure you signed in. And that's it. Oh, I'll just use the one with tape. It's okay, because people have left.
And they send it every single day. And if I put block holler, they just use another state. And it says press 7 if you don't want to be.
Yeah, no, don't ever do that.
Get rid of this from calling see, I mean, they're gonna send me a loan for $60,000.
Yeah. Don't ever, so one thing you can do, go to it, which one was it? They'll keep saying it, right? So when you do like that and say delete, that's the right one? Is it good to do that one?
most
Okay.
likely.
So don't turn it on. If you do that, okay.
There, it's a
You still
message.
need funding, okay? So if that's one is it, you click on it, like, whoops, sorry, you slide it over. You say delete, and wait, there's one that the messages you can't do that to. You can do it to
United
texts.
States is one too.
You go to info, and you say you've already blocked it because they keep calling to
every
different
day.
ones. Yeah. So what I've heard is there still a place I found. Thank you. Bye. I think that before this administration, there was a place you could call to get block unwanted calls. My son has suddenly had a ton of these showing up, and we managed to make it better. I don't know if it's still valid. I heard that they had turned it off. List to block callers. There's silence robocalls. Remove. National Do Not Call Registry. Here, National Do Not Call Registry. Write it down. It's called donotcall.gov. Donotcall.gov. And but make sure, go to the National Sellers and Marketplace. I just want to make sure that these are. This doesn't look like it's the Federal Trade Commission, though. See, this doesn't look very. This looks like it could be fake. It doesn't look very.
Fake to get rid of a fake.
Yeah, this does not look legit. It's not. Doesn't look like a real website. They're just called. Do not call. Register your home for free. Report an ITC. I don't like it. It doesn't look real to me.
That's
It's
probably
a .gov.
because
It's hard to fake a .gov. It's hard to fake a .gov, and it is a .gov.
you know, I have the sense that this administration is trying to change the way things look.
Yeah, I know that they had. I thought that they had canceled this because they want to help people. They want to help these people. But let me see. Is do not call.gov legit? It's wildly popular for consumers. Do not call, register for transmission. As long as it's a .gov. .govs are very hard to fake. The register website is do not call.gov. Okay, it looks like it's okay. Is do not call. Help you reduce the number of phone calls, stop unwanted sales by calling register, or by phone call this number.
Okay, what is it?
1-888 382
382
1222.
1222.
That site looked really
And then I call them and tell them what. They don't mention their name. They just say this is loan company.
Yeah. They don't. It doesn't matter. This isn't about that loan company. This puts your phone on a registry, which supposedly callers have to respect. Now, I think that this administration has lowered the bar for all that, and then now it's not so. That's what I've heard lately, but that's the best you can do. You can't get off of them. They're spammers. They're never gonna.
Yeah, they call every day.
I know. But what you can do, and I don't want what I do, because nobody calls me. That's important. I have a feature said, do not put through calls that are not in my contact book. But then that stops you from getting calls from anyone that you don't have in your contact book. Since
Like
I
your
don't want calls from
doctor's
anyone
office.
that's not in the contact book, that works for me. But then when someone doesn't know me and calls me, it doesn't come through. So I wouldn't recommend that unless you have everyone you know in your contact book, because that you do from your phone. But then you stop getting those calls. But then you also would start getting calls that might matter. You need to really have a robust contact list.
So maybe this
Well, the thing is, people who work in
Yeah, for the
offices,
people who respect it, I'm not sure that spammers respect it, but supposedly calls from reputable places, you're on their list to not call. But then they're irreputable places. I don't know how much they will tolerate, but try it. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. My son did it and it helped. It wasn't perfect. He still gets calls, but he was getting, he was getting.
This will go on every day. It goes every day.
Yeah. At some point, this phone that I never use, it's the teaching phone. I get texted from China 20 times a day. I have like text and text and text for China.
From China, it's all in
Yeah.
Chinese.
Yeah.
But I don't recognize it, so it just goes.
It goes. Yeah. Yeah.
So they spam. I open my phone and let them in somehow. Huh?
What's that?
The spam thing that's on here. Let 'em in somehow, or how do you
Phone, unfortunately, let me just stop the share. They're so intelligent. They don't, you know, they know how to get around all of these things. But this helped my son a lot. I don't know if it'll help that one company that's calling you every day from a different number, so you can't really block it because every day they have a new number. Same thing with emails. You get an email every day from a different place.
one thing you can do is put numbers you don't recognize into your voicemail.
Yeah, but then so what I do is I have it turned on to do not let phones calls through that not come from something that's recognized, but that means it's in my contact book. I have a Robo's contact book, and everyone who tries to call me who isn't, they just go to voicemail. So they have to leave voicemail. The thing is, I need to check voicemail, but I don't. So basically, I might be 2 months before I check voicemail. But if you start doing that, have it go to voicemail, and then check your voicemail every day, you might be able to start filtering through the people that matter, and you go, oh, this person matters. Let me put them on my contact list so that then it comes through.
Well,
You know what I mean?
the difficult thing is people in doctors' offices often use their own phones, and people in
Yeah.
various
The
organizations
problem is
often,
whenever I have a doctor call me, whenever I know they're going to call me because I called them for help
yeah,
or something, then I
yeah,
have to turn that off. But if they just happen to call you because they need to change the appointment or something, they won't get through because
yeah,
it's off.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's why, it's like
It's
if,
a halfway fix. It's not really a
yeah,
fix.
yeah.
It's
Well,
a fix for me because I know don't need to get calls, but I should check my voicemails more often. My answering machine says literally, I don't answer the phone anymore. So, and my husband thinks it's ridiculous, but it says, I don't answer my phone anymore. So if you need to get through to me, please text me.
yeah, but then you're giving out your text number, your
No,
number.
they have my number. They called me. So, right? So people who know me, who called me, will have to text me, which is a little workaround. If
Which
they
is
called me, they have my number. And the people who do those robocalls, the machines don't then text you. The robocalls are machines that only call. Then you get the people who spam you on text and people who spam you on email. But if your machine answers, they don't then say, oh, well, let's text them, because it's not a human, it's a machine.
No, and that's why I suggest putting them into voicemail, because they turn off when they go into voicemail.
Yeah. No. I get lots of voicemails from people wanting to sell me stuff. He's got like every day they try to give him a 60,000 loan. But don't forget, is that your notebook?
Anyway, goodbye.
They do leave voicemails.
Goodbye, Diana. And I did find that PDF, and I'll see you hopefully next
You found it, okay.
next
Thank you, Georgia.
semester.
It's been great having